All right. Should be a fun day today. We got some new developments. There's a chance I might have called it too. I might have called it before it happened. All right, so OpTic scrims today, and we've got SSG and SSG versus SR. So we're eating real good today. Oh, you know what? Damn it. I didn't update the graphic. I got to update the graphic. We got to switch it. We got to switch it. No, no, no. I didn't even save it, did I? Shit. There we go. Okay, OpTic scrims with new coach. That's what it should say. Is it updated on YouTube? Felipe, Thread, S&Z, how we doing? Pig. Day 2 of Let's Go. Hell yeah. King, welcome. Hoover. Uzumaki. Natasha. Hello, Natasha. So is Tusk dropped? I'm not sure what's happening with Tusk, but I do know that just like we said yesterday, Lunchbox is back. The one thing that OpTic need to get their cohesion in order, right? They needed a good S-tier coach. They needed Lunchbox. And what did they get? They got him, bro. Hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Lunchbox comeback is crazy. And a big W, honestly. For a lot of reasons. For a lot of reasons. Hold on. Is the YouTube title correct? Bass? Thread? I made a mistake. I forgot to update the YouTube title. It should be correct now. With a different graphic. That's kind of disappointing. I wanted to clickbait you guys in here. TSM versus C9 is 4-4. Yeah, they started early for some reason. They started early. I'm not too concerned with that because SSG SR has their scrim today. And I think that starts at like 5 Eastern. We got a full SSG SR scrim to watch today. And the OpTic scrim to watch as well. So we're busy. We're very busy. Watching Halo today. We're eating good. Title is correct and updated. Thank you. Did they announce Lunchbox? Announce his return? They did. They announced it. It's right here. I literally said, bro, glad we're on the same wavelength. Lunchbox coming back to Halo. More vocal than Tusk was? 100%. I mean, yeah, he's a GOAT. This is exactly what we wanted to see. I also think Lunchbox brings a level of... people love Lunchbox. So regardless of what you think of, like, Formal and some of the players on the team, I feel like there's more reason to root for OpTic, maybe, if you're a fan of Lunchbox, you know? People have been kind of hating on Formal, you know? Maybe the way the team left was like amicable after all, you know? Maybe there wasn't any sort of, like... Maybe we're over-dramatizing it, you know? Lunchbox clearly still has a good relationship with OpTic to find his way back on the team. Formal live, I don't know about Legend. Last Shot is live. Precision's not. Lucid is live. Boo Boo is live. Druck is live, right? SR Game 2 just started. I think we're going to start with OpTic. And see if we can hear the comms. He's doing an OpTic Halo... Maniac's doing an OpTic Halo watch party. Okay, okay. Very nice. Oh, or was he? No, he is. Damn, look at this. Is it only Formal's POV, though? It's only Formal's POV, huh? Have they not started the scrim? All right, we're going to jump into Last Shot, I guess, for now. Shy with the intel. Maybe. Nah, so if you want full honesty, I went on Twitter and said I think Lunchbox is what OpTic needs, and that was fully I did that without knowing anything. But then I do have I do have my own sources of intel in OpTic, and basically after I made that tweet, that it was confirmed to me that he's coming back, basically. So I happened to get lucky, basically. Like I made the call and I was correct, and then it got confirmed to me in advance. That's why I said I might have some intel yesterday, because the moment I made that tweet, somebody reached out to me and confirmed it, basically. So I knew he was coming, but I made the tweet before I knew, if that makes sense. We were on the same wavelength. It just so happened that I felt like they needed a new coach, and also Formal and the team felt like they needed to replace him as well. I think OpTic replaced Tusk. I think they might have. I think they might have replaced Tusk, guys. Which, unfortunate for Tusk. Like I said, it's not like... This is not like... Because clearly he's a pro-level player. He'd be a valuable addition to many rosters. I think the issue with OpTic specifically is we're talking about, like, the best team in the league. You know, arguably. OpTic. So you need a coach that's, like, the best coach in the league to match it. Like, you need a coach at the caliber of Formal, Renegade, Legend, and Bound, right? And that's where Lunchbox comes in my opinion. It's not to say that, like, Tusk isn't an excellent coach. I just don't know if he has the experience to, like, match his roster, if that makes sense. Yeah, are we doing gambling? I don't know. Or channel points? Welcome, by the way, guys. I know we're getting, like, right into the conversation here. / welcome alt, did discuss, fake tripster. Everybody hanging out on the YouTube and on the Twitch. Savage, Rice Bomb, Samuel. OpTic going to dominate now with Lunchbox as coach. It'll help. I think that what they're missing, they can make up for now with Lunchbox and some practice. So yeah, maybe they will. It's definitely a new dynamic. It's an interesting new dynamic. I think it was OpTic's biggest weak spot was their cohesion, playing together, and VOD review and the coaching side of things. Like in the OpTic process, year 1, Halo World Championship, him talking everyone, including Formal, was listening. Yeah, so I think there's a legitimacy, professionalism that comes to the team with, or I don't know if that's the word to use. Basically, there's a level of respect that all the pros have for Lunchbox, because obviously he's got a legendary history in the esport, so they're more inclined, not that they wouldn't listen to Tusk necessarily, but I feel like they're more inclined to listen to Lunchbox and his play calls. He's also a very, adamant voice in the comms. And somebody had made that note about, like, Tusk is a good friend of Renegade and Bound and them, so maybe there's too much comfort. There might be a little bit too much comfort with, like, Renegade and Tusk, where he might not take Tusk as seriously because they're so used to just, like, beating on each other in twos on a regular basis, Team OpTic or Team Formal? What are you talking about? Where's my kill tack on lane? That's a good question. What about last shots? Triple kill into a perfect flag run. How about that? Playing some flawless Halo here. Jeez. They're currently playing SSG, so this is a big deal scrim, right? Normally, this would be the highlight of the broadcast, SSG versus SR, but with OpTic scrimming and with the new developments, I figured that's the clickbait for today. Lunchbox being the FaZe coach didn't follow through. I don't think that was ever a thing, Sam. The only reason we had a conversation about Lunchbox potentially coaching FaZe was because that French Ambition France Twitter made a post that they threw Lunchbox into as if it was like intel, but there was nothing to back it, They made a post as if it was like for official off. I don't know what sources they had. I don't know if Lunchbox was ever in conversation to coach FaZe. Deliver the content? Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to provide value after I've baited your click. But I'm still going to try to bait your click. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you follow through, right? It's not about the clickbait. It's about what happens once you get in here. All right? As long as the discussion is quality. That's all that matters. Master baiter. Whoa, whoa. I didn't say that. What's up, Neo? Have they started the complexity OpTic scrim? Have they gotten a few games in? Like last we checked, they were just sitting in the lobby. What's good, noodle person? Caught up on all your debt? Having a great day. Let's go, Sam. 4-1 in the OpTic scrim, so they've started. With only Formal's POV, huh?
5 seconds.
Shot one shot.
First thing I hear is Lunchbox on the comms, bro.
Get camera. Available.
Let's actually see how this goes.
Looking at my own driveway, guys. I just went red.
All right, we're in the beginning of Streets Oddball here. Game is 5-1 currently in the OpTic scrim. Okay, I'll update that right now.
Oh. Tires.
One shot back PD. One shot back PD.
Nice, very nice.
Last guy.
I'm watching Cafe now.
Tusk is
Watch
on.
Cafe for precision.
We're gonna be.
My cafe, like.
I'm B. I'm hiding, man. Just give me
like
info.
right side. You guys are my cafe.
Maybe man up
Give
there.
me info.
Yeah, two right at least. Nice, man.
Hey, Blondie. The Prophet. I don't know about that. How you doing, bro?
All dead. All dead.
I'm looking at the
SR versus SSG. How many games in is the SR SSG scrim?
Yeah, Sabri, hold B.
Yeah.
I'll shock you. I
have a cross, okay?
Safe to say we were on the same wavelength, right? Our Formal knows what's best for the team. And I'm glad I had the same idea. I'm glad I had the same idea in mind.
One shot.
B-sides,
Who's seen that? TSM versus C9, right? But I don't know the score.
Okay.
Thank you. Is it Chris?
I'm gonna go.
Or Briss? Thank you for the follow, man.
I'm hiding ATM.
I'm here, arcade.
1-0 SR?
Yeah, oh, tires.
And then TSM C9 was what, like 4-4 last we checked?
What's coming now, guys?
One shot on Josh.
Laundry.
Okay, man. No, laundry. Both that.
Camo sit down, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, camera's
Be down here if anything. One's driver with soccer, guys. He's gonna push me. He has to push me.
I'm watching.
We need 10 here.
One shot bottom C, going back out.
Coaching from the job site? Yeah, I wonder what the balancing act is going to be now. Was he working full time? Like I don't really know what environment he came from to rejoin OpTic, or the full reasoning behind why he stepped away in the first place, right? So that's kind of interesting. Like he, I think, decided to not coach. I'm not sure what his idea was behind that, and what did it take to get him back? You know, like what kind of conversation went down
Two agents, only two right.
that made Lunchbox.
It's like walking down main road.
He decided, screw it, I'm going to play another year of Halo.
Purple. No, last guy P1.
He is an electrician, right? So was he working full time? Is he still going to try to do that? Like I really have no idea in what capacity he'll be acting. How do I say that? Ignacio, thank you for the follow, brother. Welcome. Matt Begging. Okay. Yeah. That might help.
I can smoke it now.
Please, bro.
I dropped the smoke. ATM leak 1 round.
Step 1. Get on your knees and pray. Got a raise? He got the bag?
I'm looking around.
Formal's a big fan of
One
Jason.
tired behind me, cuz. PD1.
He couldn't turn him
Side door,
down.
PD going, sitting side door, not moving.
So is Jason not going to
side door out now, Stalker?
he's going to stop on the electrician work then, I guess? Take another year away? I don't know.
I'm looking at ball.
I'm trying to get eyes on ball.
Hear anything back about partner? I can check that right now.
Top A also, really big exploding. 1 steps, 2 guys, 1 steps.
Normally it takes... Normally you think I'd get it by now, right? Like a
Front
response.
seat, 1 seat, going drive up behind you.
That's
1 round. Absolutely right. I made you. Balls weak. Mental's 1 shot on ball. Absolute ball. Absolute ball, guys.
It says in review. It still says in review.
Try to hit him once.
This is the longest I've seen an in review period for partner.
Camo 20.
Should be.
The longest I've seen. Which I'm going to take as a good sign, right?
It could be,
Okay, I heard it. One ball shotty then.
A day's been good. I did some coaching earlier. We hit the gym earlier, and now I'm here till the end of these scrims, right? So we got SSG SR that just started, so I'll be here till probably like 9 p.m. at least, right? I believe too. I believe Blondie. Let's go. If we gotta apply again, we gotta apply again. But at like for the last month, we've had. Did Wyatt get it? Wyatt was applied for 2 months. Did he get it though?
Massive.
We didn't start getting consistent
I can see
viewership
ball
like
control.
this
Drive with
Nighty,
mental.
until like a month ago.
Drive with mental leak rail.
Like,
Going, red room.
I didn't stream super regularly.
My
My viewership like fluctuated a lot. Some days were really good. Some days maybe I had like 60 viewers or something, let's say. Wyatt got it. Okay,
Like Ivy, I
cool.
think.
I'm confident, like, off the past month, we've had an average of like 200 viewers.
I don't see
Looking left,
Like
looking left,
minimum,
looking left.
kind of, you know?
Arcade.
I'll get Tipsy 14 for
There's no way. And we've been streaming on like a regular basis, putting in 30 to 35 hours a week streaming last few weeks. Yeah, so, you know, I'm not complaining either way, but it'd be a nice step in the right
Drive
direction.
ATM. Bottom C also.
Electricians make 6 figures, so you must be making good
Bench
base
one,
pay. No idea,
ATM.
Sam.
ATM 1, one's purple.
Good afternoon, Barbosa. How we
ATM1.
doing? Thread, welcome. Electricians make good money. Yeah.
Agent.
So I hear.
On ball now.
One Cyrus.
They get rid of Tusk? I think they did, Cody. I think they made a hot swap. They swapped
Purple, one
Lunchbox
shot, smart. Precision, absolute. Yeah, did.
Nice.
out for Tusk.
Tires, one shot. Tires, one shot, red bar.
You know, a little bit unfortunate on one end, but, you know, hopefully no hard feelings. I think the biggest point that we brought up was that the caliber of this team, right? Like, this OpTic team, you know, you could argue is the best team in the league.
On ball, one shot.
They need the best coach in the league to match the level of play of the players, you know? I think that's just simply what it is. Like, if you're going to have 4 of, like, arguably the best players come together, you need the best coach to carry that, I think. OpTic getting smoked by SR could be the best thing in the long run. They need to realize they can't just out-talent. Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Leppy, thank you for the YouTube follow. Now, note that Formal wanted Lunchbox as a coach from day 0, right? Like, he didn't want him to leave to begin with, and I think that requirement, was more and more obvious as they scrimmed and you know, lost a couple series to SR. It made it more apparent to Formal, but as far as I'm aware, like, he's wanted Lunchbox to stay as a coach and has asked him many times, you know? I think this really just kind of put them over the edge. They're like, okay, bro, we got to make this switch, and we got to do it now. You know, because that's the biggest thing that we're lacking as a team right now. I definitely agree.
Shoulder me.
You push.
I think it's more. No, I thank you for the YouTube follow. I don't know about the VOD reviewing specifically. I think it's like fair to say that Tusk was not as much of a presence in the comms as Lunchbox has been for OpTic in the past, and also I think that there's a level of respect that comes with Lunchbox being on the team. There's a confidence, there's a comfort aspect to it. Having him on your team versus Tusk, where like Tusk is kind of like a bro, and I don't know if the same sort of like I don't know if they take his opinion as seriously and respect it as much. Not to like, it's hard to navigate this, you know, if that makes sense. Like, is Renegade gonna respect the opinion of Lunchbox, or Tusk as much as he does Lunchbox? Does that make sense? So I feel like he would respect the opinion of somebody like Lunchbox, who's a champion, you know, with decades practically of experience. Lunchbox has a legacy, right? He's a veteran in and outside the game. You know, it's like a mentor. Lunchbox is a good mentor role for these players versus Tusk, who's like more of a friend. It's harder to take it as seriously.
One shot main up Tusk going ATM.
Let's go, Cap. Hey, listen, these people like you, if it ever wants to get back to where it used to be, keep doing this, please. I'll keep at it, Cap, especially with your continued support, brother. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Let's go. I mean, I'm vibing, bro. This has been fun. Safe to say, you know, regardless of what side of the fence you're on with this whole roster mania stuff, like, if it wasn't for Formal nuking his team and you know, all the storylines we have now, I don't know if you guys would be as invested. I feel like there'd be less to talk about. We wouldn't be watching scrims, you know, in anticipation. This year's fun, man. This year's fun. We got fans of different players, different teams in a way that we never had. People are more invested in the scrims and the tournaments. Feels like there's like a passionate, you know, niche community for Halo right now. Big fan of Naded. Would be cool to see him coach a team. It would be cool to see Naded find a way back into the scene, whether it's coaching or competing. You know, I'm sure he's like, once again, like Lunchbox, he's got a lot of veteranship. So I agree. McKay, thank you for the YouTube follow, brother. Let's go. I swear you already were on the YouTube, McKay, but thank you, brother.
Really trash. I was going up with soccer or pulse.
Barely heard Tusk during the yeah, he definitely is not as much of a presence, and I also feel like there's almost like a timid aspect of it, where like Tusk doesn't want to step on any toes. He doesn't want to make it, you know, a mistake. Let's say, not to say that's the vibe that I got. You know what I mean? Where he doesn't want to flood comms, or you know, if he makes a wrong move, then there's a chance that he could hurt them. I don't know. I just feel like there was a tiptoe nature to the way that he sounded in the comms, and I feel like Lunchbox will navigate that a little bit better. Lunchbox can kind of make the calls that he wants, you know, without kind of creating any issues in the dynamic. Yeah. Give a quick breakdown on my thoughts on Gunny's team. What is Gunny's team currently? Weeshan, thank you for the follow. What, with Looney and, was it Parabola and Ziad? That's his team, right? I don't know much about the players specifically. I think Looney's like a young player on the come up. Seems like he's got some talent. Ziad is somebody that the Gunnies play with a lot, so I'm sure he's got a lot of comfort with him. I just think my only issue was their dynamic in the comms, right? When they were playing C9, like they had a win off C9, and they just didn't seem like they were on the same page and really kind of embracing the progress that they were making, really even noticing the progress they were making. Wouldn't want to be in his team. That's just your opinion. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I don't know his teammates, and I don't know what they expect of him. But it didn't sound like a good dynamic, you know. Like we've listened to a lot of team comms from pro teams at this point, and safe to say, what we heard versus C9 was not what you want to be hearing. You know, I don't think you need to be a Halo savant to understand that like something was clearly wrong with their communication during that tournament. And I'm not going to point fingers, but. Yeah, I hope they fix it. Because honestly, if they were on the same page and like, sort of reinforcing, like motivating each other a little bit more, then who knows what could have happened in that series. Clutch Master, thank you for the YouTube follow, brother. Welcome. If they can take one game off C9, who's to say they can't do another? They had close matches. Fucking point fingers. Who's at fault here? Hey, let's go, Aaron. Thank you for the kind words, brother. Good to be here. What if they partially got rid of Tusk because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to as a coach? Partially got. So we've discussed it. Everything I just said. Instead of having to like continually repeat myself, I think it's fair to say that there's a level of respect people have for Lunchbox. Standby. My God, 14 months. Welcome back. Standby boot. Let's go. Big plays. First sub of the day, I think. We're at 223 out of 250. Let's go, guys. How do I feel about Tusk? I think Tusk is a great player. He's got experience, I believe, coaching as well. I just think that OpTic is like too comfortable with him, and they don't view him as like a mentor in any specific way. If anything, you know, they believe that, I'm sure they believe they're better than him or more knowledgeable than him in some regards because they play Halo with him so often, right? So, whereas with Lunchbox it's different. There's this level of mentorship and legacy that Lunchbox brings to the team, so they're going to take him more seriously. They're, you know, it's just a good compliment to the roster. Lunchbox is back, Alpha. Lunchbox is back. That's the whole new discussion right now. V-Man, thank you for the YouTube follow. The return of Coach Lunchbox. He's been coaching OpTic for the past 2 years. Part of the reason why they won their world championship. You know, why they maintained their standing as the top team in the league, even if they couldn't, you know, but they could buy a win, you know, in the last year, but last 3 years, I guess he's been a coach. He'd Ogre 2 coaching. I'm sure he'd be a great coach too. I don't know where his head's at with that if he cares to do it. Royborg is a coach too. Yeah, I mean, that'd be sick. Yeah, I wonder what their perspectives are on stuff like that. I think Lunchbox as a player has always been like very support focused, you know, for his team. He's always had a role. He's like the dirty work kind of player. His role on the team and his ability to coach, I think, like complement each other nicely, if that makes sense, versus being like you know, Roy being kind of like the main slayer centerpiece of his roster. Maybe that wouldn't you know, wouldn't
Careful going back for him, okay?
like translate to a coaching role as effectively, or maybe that wouldn't be something that comes to him, like something that he enjoys doing as much. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like Lunchbox's role as a player and what he does now as a coach kind of naturally complement each other. Yeah.
Nice, Sean. Are we one? Are bound? Take your time, take your time, take your time.
From base, one shot. Our base one shot.
He's not moving, he's not moving.
Lunchbox with egg sandwiches. Holy shit. Okay.
What's our basement still in the door right here.
Sniped out coaching phase? No, not that I'm aware of.
What's our spot too?
Did they drop? No, he left on his own accord, Doctor.
Both there.
Hadn't paid attention to the coaching situation? Yeah, so he decided to, for whatever reason, stop coaching and focus on his electrician job, I guess. That's like our understanding. He never actually said anything. He just stepped away. But it was communicated that like OpTic didn't want him to go. Formal mentioned it on the podcast that like he didn't want Lunchbox. I think on the podcast he said it before. He didn't want Lunchbox to leave. Lunchbox decided to leave on his own. 3-0 SR, thank you. And then 6-1 OpTic, I assume. East Coast Beast, thank you for the follow, brother. Welcome. Is it 6-1 OpTic?
One's with the bomb behind me.
Myth or Mirth, thank you for the follow.
Ring on right now.
Lunchbox is OpTic's coach. We're gonna need a command. Reese, can you make a command for like coach or something like that? I don't know.
Right side.
So people just don't have to ask. I am coaching FaZe. FaZe does need some sort of a coach. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, I hear you, Sam. I hope that that no relationships were damaged in the process, because like Tusk is, you know, very regularly a part of the money twos and stuff that they play. Like they practice with Tusk a lot. They played a lot of off-season tournaments with him as well. So, you know, I'm hoping that he's still like kind of an integral part of that. I don't see why he wouldn't be, but yeah, I mean, I wonder if that is an indication that like he should keep competing, or you know, look into coaching opportunities elsewhere. He's not like, he's in his 20s, right? Like if he wanted to continue competing, I think he would have opportunities.
Absolutely.
I don't know where his head's at. That with Tusk, basically, you know, they wanted Lunchbox back. They got Lunchbox. Felt like things weren't working with Tusk as a coach. Is the understanding that I have.
One's the front base.
Is FaZe even relevant, Infinite? They will be once they sign their freaking team. FaZe is better, yeah. Trippy's team. They moved him to an analyst role? I don't think so. I think he's off the team until we hear otherwise. I actually don't know, because was there an official post from OpTic that said that they released him? Because I don't even think there was a post that said they released him. I don't know, if Blondie's lurking, maybe she can drop some intel, but otherwise, I'm not sure.
Our low spiral.
No, yeah, there's no post on OpTic Twitter saying thank you, Tusk. No thank you post. Yeah, so I don't know what that means.
Our top tower.
Why would they say thank you? Didn't even make it to the first major? Yeah, I guess, right? It's kind of a weird situation.
Where's that?
Yeah, he's pushing forward. See the front base.
I'm hitting left side.
Yeah, they're back flag mental.
Thank you, one top.
Front base.
Yo, base weak mental.
Did you see it, Jamie? I haven't looked too closely. OpTic update did? So there's something out there, you're telling me. What is OpTic update? Is that like
there is one also. Back is one as well.
some sort of Twitter? Daily OpTic updates? Nah, that can't be it.
And flag also pushing. Flag.
A reply to the Lunchbox tweet? Sheesh.
And we'll just house too. No man's in. Spiral, one shot. Oh, you can flag goal. That's one.
Damn, that's how they did it.
Back flag.
Damn.
Right here, one shot, back flag. I need one.
Yeah, I mean, I
Top tower
don't
in
know.
their side, plus two. Top tower in their side, plus two. You can play for this.
That's kind of unfortunate.
Just get tight. Put it for the plasmas.
Not really sure what to say on that, man. I hope that
Watch it up, watch it up.
I hope that it leads to a better opportunity for him. Blazer, thank you for the follow, brother. Welcome.
I'm fighting from this for you. Let's get it.
Watch out, mental.
All the challenges we experience in life are designed to make us stronger, designed to make us better, to you know, to bring us to where we're truly meant to
Are we
be.
one week? Are we 1 week? Ring 3, guys.
I hope so too, Sean. Prison vibes are good, brother. Thank you for the thumbnail. I gotta get you back. I owe you 10.
One for base, right? Nice.
Some of the top tower.
Grab both sides for a second.
Both towers.
Yeah, safe to say I had a
Twice.
I knew OpTic needed it, and turns out Formal was on the same page, which is cool to see.
On the block, yeah.
He's left side.
Yeah, a little bit instinct. It felt a little dirty. I'm not gonna lie.
I rank you also really big rental.
He's definitely a great player. He could compete if he wanted to.
Rank you so mental with the back flag.
The issue is the season's pretty solidified at this point.
John.
If to squeeze his way into an existing team somehow.
John.
Ring on.
Ever wrong just early?
Upon also mental. Upon mental going for touch.
Yeah, so I made that tweet, and then it was confirmed to me shortly after making that tweet that Lunchbox was coming back. So once I made that tweet,
Go from base. Really go base.
safe to say somebody reached out to
Rank
me
you also.
and confirmed it, and I was like, oh shit.
Or flag block too.
And that's why I was hinting at, you know, maybe having some intel last night. If you guys were watching last night,
Back flag.
back flag. You know, I said I had some intel
You guys really big back flag.
that I didn't want to talk about. I couldn't talk about.
Yeah, he's holding his cross.
That was it, basically.
They're ring three.
It's going good, Lorenzo. How you doing, man? OpTic is lame as fuck. I know, right? Who would even watch them?
We'll try and touch, buddy.
I'd hate to just sit here and watch them play.
Left partially precision.
10 seconds left.
Lunchbox is the new coach.
Play for the Play for the The flag's gone. So we're going to base, right? That's bro.
Yeah.
For the past two,
Put up, they're
wait,
gonna have it.
brought back lunch for the past 2 weekends? Like, because of the past 2
Flag
weekends?
brown,
So,
flag
okay, once again, they never wanted Lunchbox to leave.
Flag one. Yo,
I
ring-
think the
ring-
past 2
on top-
weekends,
on top week, precision.
like, made it
Okay,
even
we
more
should-
apparent that his value was needed on the roster. Does that make sense? So, like, Formal wanted him to stay.
Oh, you didn't know.
Lunchbox decided he was going to go, and then over the last 2 weeks, it sounds like Formal asked, you know, asked him a lot more. Like, I heard begged was the word used.
Touch one shot mental.
Formal may have begged Lunchbox.
I'm pulling one shot.
We need you.
One more,
Jason,
one more,
please.
Shoot that, one flag.
The window, watch out.
He's back, yeah. Well, so that's the thing too, is the coaches that they're up against, right? Every top team has like an established Halo, like, veteran pro player as their coach, right? Best Man's been competing in Halo since what? Like wasn't he like in his prime in like 2010 or like the Reach era, right? Best Man was in Halo back in the classic glory days. So he's got a lot of veteranship and experience that he's taken to SR. Elamite is the coach at SSG. I think that speaks for itself, right? So the top teams are represented with coaches that are you know, at the caliber of the the players, basically. The best coaches aligned with the best players. Lunch comms on? I think they are. I think they are. Best Man Red, yeah, been around since H2. Sure, I didn't know the specific game. I'm saying he was around during the glory, golden days of the game. I wasn't actively involved in MLG when it was popular back in the day. I have limited knowledge, I'll be honest. Was peaking H3 on Triggers Down? Dope. I got to go back and watch some of it, I guess. Maybe we'll do a trip down memory lane. Might be the best in the game. He's definitely up there. The roster's looking pretty nasty. There's got to be 7-1 at this point.
King of the Hill.
I know Best Man's an OG. I just don't know much about his history as a player. No other OpTic stream is live, huh? No idea, Chosen. Hopefully. You're saying it would be the best plot, Filthy, if it happens? Have you seen his smile on the SR roster page? I mean, yeah, how do you deny that smile, right?
Push this guy.
Yeah, I hear you, Slim. I think it was the decision that was best for the team, but I definitely, it definitely sucks that it went the way that it did.
Top four,
And it's unfortunate that Lunchbox didn't just stick with the team to begin with, you know, but I do think that the best decision they could have made was the one that they did. At the end of the day, you got to do what it takes to win.
Watch out, triple buff. Nice.
But now that this is locked in, I'm curious to see, you know, what kind of height this team can achieve. What's the potential of OpTic? As far as I'm aware, Royal 1 is still an FA. I'm not sure. I honestly think Royal 1 should go back to FaZe and coach Trippy's team. I think that would be a good option. Unless APG is available and down to coach. I don't know what the dynamic is going to be between APG and that team, considering the little drama that took place like last year. But yeah, Royal 1 would be a good option. Or like Hoaxer. I think Hoaxer is coaching a team already. I'm not sure what Alumni's up to. Like, there's a few well-known, you know, high-caliber coaches in the scene that have been doing it for a long time. I know Towie has coached FaZe before. I don't think he's around in the scene anymore.
Dropping any.
Who's coaching TSM? Trey, Trey? He goes by Trey. He's kind of an OG in the Halo scene as well. I don't know too much about his history, but he's well respected in the pro community. And a good player, too. I've played against him in matchmaking. He's definitely nasty. I know, Shred. Coach Shyway, though. We're here to just bask in the glory that is Scrims, bro. We're just sitting here enjoying it. I ain't coaching any. I'll coach you guys. I'm a coach for the people. Coach of the people. I think R2 wouldn't be weird about R1 coaching somewhere else. Why would he be? You can only coach for me. It's some weird relationship dynamic. Royal 2 should want Royal 1 to get the best possible coaching opportunity he can. I get what you're saying, though, like having, you know, brothers play against each other, sort of. It's a similar dynamic to, like, Royal 2 having to play against Snakebite this season, right? Like, they're a long-term duo, great buddies, basically like brothers, I would assume, right? But they got to go head-to-head. That's just how it is. May the best man win. Yeah, you, me, and the rest of the Halo community thread. How important is coaching at this level of Halo? Honestly, I think coaching in Halo is more important than just about any other FPS esport, in my opinion. Not that I know all the FPS esports to a T, but it's definitely more important than COD. That was Lunchbox in the comms right there. If I shut up, you'll hear him. Note that he literally just hopped on the team, so I'm not really sure what kind of presence we're going to expect from Lunchbox, apart from just the basics for now.
They're like all here, bro. They're all here.
I think this is the first scrim that Lunchbox has watched with them, listened in on, right? So he was the old coach, Fred. Yeah, but the whole team is different now, right? So obviously he can take his knowledge. Yeah, I can shut up. Hold on. He can take his background from coaching the previous roster and apply it here, but it's going to take a second, I'm sure, for things to like click and to get a flow going. So if I'm Lunchbox, I'm probably like not going to be a huge presence on the comms right away and listen a lot. If anything, you'd want to listen a lot and get an understanding of like how the team plays together, what the comms sound like. The dynamics. Probably taking notes on their dynamic. Exactly. There we go. Eli, what's up, brother? Yeah, if I'm Lunchbox, I'd probably be taking notes, listening, just kind of getting a sense of like how the team plays together and like how he could fill in the picture basically when you know, over time. Welcome, Eli. Lunchbox is the coach again. Where's Tusk? Tusk, unfortunately, is no longer with OpTic.
I'm jumping on the other now, Camo. Pipe door?
I just lost my YouTube for a second there. We good on YouTube? We're good. Okay. 831 of you guys chilling on YouTube. Welcome. Can we
I'm gonna hit pipe door.
Bro, OpTic brings the numbers. Holy shit. Dalbarex, thank you for the follow, brother. Welcome. We hit 1K watching OpTic today. New to viewing esports. What kind of things do coaches do to help the team? Primal, thank you for the follow. At a very basic level, coaches are going to keep track of the power weapons and the utility on the map. Like, the shock rifle, the camo, the repulse, the important utility. They're timing it, calling it when it comes up. For Lunchbox specifically, there's certain strategy calls that the coach can do to kind of fill in some of the communication in dead space. Or make strategy calls about like whether or not the team has a certain advantage or disadvantage and how they should play around it. So like if they should fall back in a certain situation, or sometimes a coach can kind of read the play and help make a strategy call, assist in the comms. Also, I think they bring a dynamic, like a confidence dynamic to the team, like making sure the vibes are up in the team between games and rounds and whatnot. Kind of a big part of the conversation, like post-match. But yeah, right now it sounds like the only thing Lunchbox is doing is just keeping track of the weapons and the timers and whatnot. Damn, Sam, let him know. If you go, I have an old video that I'll link to you guys. Maybe you can watch it later. That literally breaks down OpTic. It's OpTic Halo's communication in like year 1 of Infinite. And Lunchbox was a big presence in the comms in that breakdown. And that would be a good example.
I had to go upstairs. I'm not sure if you went up. He went up. Oh, behind you, bro. John spawned. One paragon. I heard spawn spot as well. He won't put pipes. He won't pipes to fight you, I think.
Still good enough to be a pro player himself. Players trust his calls more. I agree. I think it's his legacy as well, right? I think a big part of it is like everything he's accomplished in his career and his legacy. And yes, he also is a pro player in his ability. Ruckus, thank you for the YouTube follow, brother. Welcome. He's an older player too. I think there's a mentorship kind of component to like the vibe. He's like, what is Lunchbox, like 36, 35 now? A lot of these players are like a decade younger than him on OpTic, if not more. So there's a mentorship kind of component to it where they have more respect your elders. You know what I'm saying?
What's your village?
One's one beer a week.
Let's take last guy.
Back to the day.
I think it's easy to get too comfortable playing with your buddy like Tusk, Renegade's playing with Tusk, like he sees him as a friend, like he might not take him as seriously. He's a little too comfortable playing with Tusk. It's not bringing the confidence, the profession, the vibe to the team that they need to like clutch up when it counts,
I'm here with you, Tower. One tower house week. One tower house.
Spawning.
I think one's a gold.
Where's the damn video?
One's up there.
Watch my stairs if you can. What's up there?
Bottom man.
Here it is.
Today, I'm going to show you why good communication.
Damn, dude, bottom man.
This is an old video, but it's still valid. So if you like maybe save it for later or something, this is me breaking down OpTic's communication in Pit CTF game. If you're curious, Lunchbox is like a notable part of the communication in that video, and you can see a little bit about like what he brings to the team in that environment, and then
Still there.
You'll get a better sense of it. T squared is the new FaZe, coach. That'd be sick, but I don't know where the hell you got that from. Hustle liability. Complexity, huh?
Absolute spot going long. You sneaky, show me.
Respect me because I'm old? Excuse me?
Two hill.
Big door, one's big door.
One's bottom beer. Bottom beer watching the hell.
Okay,
saw that earlier? Yeah, on Pit. Asking OpTic to let Joey snipe top tower. Yeah, there's little things that he does that like add to the experience in a valuable way without over flooding the comms. There's a balancing act to it.
Hill for that.
A lot of emphasis placed on online performance though. Teams need consistency and time on LAN for sure. LAN matters. LAN's what really matters in the end of the day. I do think that online performance does matter. Obviously, it does indicate to some extent like how players and teams are going to play on LAN. But sometimes teams will get a glow up on LAN. Like I'm sure SSG could be one of those teams. But I still would expect SSG at the rate that they're playing. I still expect them to be in like 3rd or 4th place. But you never know. Lunch is coaching again. Yeah.
And batteries, both one. Nice, one more bet.
I agree, Thread.
In a second. Spawning spot, I think.
Might shoot again.
I'm shooting. Turbo weak.
This is honestly way too close. OpTic have a map advantage right here, holding C plat to contest the hill. Like as long as they keep C plat control, they get their kills here. They should get the cap, and that should be GG's. We got 25 seconds here. They're gonna triple stack the hill. Yeah, gonna make it 3-2 here.
One shot bang, one shot bang, one fair, one shot hug.
25 seconds to somehow control batteries for complexity gonna be extremely difficult.
And one bang also.
Lunchbox is also quiet on the comms. In the balance of his audio right now, it's kind of harder to catch his voice.
One more health and one pipe door.
I'm on.
Up glass, up glass. I'm gonna shoot glass,
Yeah, apparently Formal really insisted.
L2 one shot us, absolute no.
As Lunchbox stepped away, but Formal, you know,
R2 one shot us.
really wanted him on the team.
Needles.
I heard he may or may not have begged. May or may not have begged Lunchbox to come back.
One's be ballot show.
Elamite is SSG's coach, correct.
L2 weak party. L2 one shot two guys. R2 one shot party. L2 party. One counter. R2 one shot party. Absolute. Suck R2. Grenade.
Who's better?
2-0, John. 2-0.
I mean,
one. Yeah, no more health.
like they're better at different things, but safe to say Roy was a more impactful, I guess, a more overall impactful player, and definitely like stole the spotlight a lot. But you know, Lunchbox was often slept on in his ability and what he brought to every team he was a part of.
Bomb tower. And gold stairs going long.
Yeah, he's always Lunch has always been kind of like underrated. His value is not as obvious on the stat sheet as Roy's was. Roy was just, you know, just straight shooter, dealing max damage, not missing a BR like ever. Main Slayer type vibe, you know.
He's on the box. He's still long.
Front man, better Slayer, yeah, for sure.
Body first, guys. Body first.
Bottom
Lunchbox is impacting the game a little more cerebral.
Make pitch.
It's about being selfless, giving your teammates the best possible opportunities. You know, making the correct play in every situation to, you know, ensure you get the OBJ, you get the point that you need. They're playing at 6 seconds, bro. They're playing for a 4-0. Oh, they capped it. Holy shit. I'm not even paying attention, bro. We're too locked into conversation. This is insane. They somehow, with less than 25 seconds, capped the batteries hill. We're going to OT now. Legend looking to get a pick here. Huge live. Tusk gets the clean up on Legend. Formal now with camo.
There's 2-0.
Neil's one. Dude, fuck.
Nice big.
Stacks of combo weak.
No, he got nuked. That might be GG's. Formal dying there. They're on a stagger. They've got maybe one push. He's going to die in long haul. I think it's GG's. They have to nuke the hill somehow. Bound with a trade on Sparty. Numbers advantage, complexity. Yeah, let's get it, Terran. Don't forget to like the stream. Lunch was always the brains and the dad of his teams. Held his teammates to a high standard, kept them focused from my POV. I like that. Rick Atkins, thank you for the YouTube follow, brother. Welcome. And that's kind of the vibe that I get with him as a coach. That's why I feel like his playstyle transitions really well to coaching in Halo. And other players, like, obviously, you know, you got to want to coach to, you know, like, first. Because I don't know if somebody like Roy would ever want to coach, but I feel like Lunchbox's support playstyle is more complimentary in his transition to coaching versus like other players who, you know, could shoot straight, get the kills. That got kind of crazy at the end, and seeing OpTic lose a King of the Hill is a little bit unexpected. I'm not going to lie. Complexity had a bit of a glow up last weekend. They played like a lights out tournament in comparison to their previous online matches. Like, I feel like they are finally starting to click in a way that they haven't early in the season. What did they get, top 6? Last weekend, Complexity, top 6 or top 8, which is like kind of a big deal. They were barely scraping through 10th place in the league, right? So, but OpTic losing a King of the Hill is kind of unexpected. Shopify demolished Complexity yesterday. What was the final? Oh, it was like 10-0, right? It was a 10-0 final scrim score. They left early for some reason. OpTic got to work on recharge. 2 losses. Did they lose the strongholds earlier? They left early. Yeah, okay.
On camo.
Amount of people not on social media is insane. Wait, what are you talking about? Make good coaches because they needed to do more to be great, unlike the raw skill players have incredible understanding of the game. Yeah, I find players who make good coaches are players who are like who don't like the game doesn't come to them as naturally, maybe, right? So they're forced to
Good.
get creative in their learning process and really kind of tackle the game, the process of learning and mastery in a different way than somebody who might have just instinctually picked up the controller and just been nasty from the rip, you know? Somebody like a Snipe Down, let's say, just kind of was a natural. And not everybody gets to pro status off natural talent and ability. Other people have to be a little bit more kind of, thoughtful and strategic in their approach to improvement, and then that sets them up to be better coaches. I feel like there are a lot of top players who can't explain to you why they're good. They just are, you know? Somebody like a Bound, like I don't know if Bound would be able to explain to me why he's so nasty at movement. It just clicks, you know? And that's kind of a cool dynamic. Is that if you can't do teach kind of philosophy as well, like a lot of really good teachers aren't always the greatest players in the end of the day. We all excel in different areas. The Coach's Lunchbox, JR. Come talk about my experience. Used to be a pro, then coached G1 for a year. Like right now, Eli, do you want to come on? Between the new coach and the podcast style conversation, do you think it's going to be... What do you think of chat? Should we get Eli on here? 2K Onyx buddy. He literally just says everyone is brain dead. Yeah, exactly. So you're going to find people like that who can't articulate what it is that they're doing, why they're good at the game. They've just figured it out.
I spawned. Watch your spawn.
Make a coffee, take your time. Get his sexy ass on. Okay. Who's Eli? Eli the ninja. He's a caster for LVT, and he's a Halo coach and OG Halo 2 pro player. He's known for MLG FFA. His background in MLG FFA back in Halo 2. There's a spot on midship named after him. He's an OG.
I'm getting a spawning that.
Let's do this.
Between knowledge and execution, when you have both, you're off the charts. A good coach will shape these young talents to be that. So I find that, you know, the more that you're thinking, you know how like critical thinking can impair your instinct and your reactions, your ability in a sense too, right? Like sometimes the best players are sort of simple-minded in a way, you know? They don't overthink. They don't, the game just kind of comes to them naturally, and they do what feels right in the moment, kind of trust their gut, and then that's what results in them being great players. I find the more analytical type players sometimes overthink, and that slows down their judgment and hurts them as well, right? Unconscious competence, yeah. Simple-minded, is that a way to say it? I don't know. It's just tricky topic sometimes to navigate. I'm not trying to... I think it is fair to say that some of the world's best gamers aren't the most intellectual, you know? Yeah, I don't know. And it's the fact that they aren't highly intellectual that actually adds to their gaming ability, you know? They're less stressed about all the potential outcomes, and they just kind of do what feels right. And then that makes them impossible to read. Hey, thank you, Pig, for the kind words, brother. Let's go. Shotzi, you could say, falls in that category, 100%. Shotzi's like a one-of-a-kind, one in a million. But, you know, you meet him, you put him on a game of Jeopardy, and he's screwed, bro. Put him on Jeopardy, he's not going to get past the first round. But he'd destroy all of us in any video game.
We need 15.
No shot they goose? They might be, bro. We're on a flawless game of strongholds right now. Formal denying 2, but not getting the pick. Should be an easy cleanup here. Legend Renegade coming out with their picks. GG's 250-0. 250-0 clapback out of OpTic. You love to see it.
Perfection.
Perfection.
You're a sick fuck.
They don't do a perfection for OBJ, do they? They should.
Yeah.
There should be a medal for a perfect OBJ game.
No, but I like a sniper, so it's like okay.
I'll put another Slayer right here.
Yeah, instinct versus analytics. Yeah, I'm definitely like the overthinker type. I feel like Eli can relate to me on that.
First to 50.
Spawn anywhere, gotcha.
I gotta dip after this one.
Okay.
There you go.
He's got a dip. Lunchbox. He's on a timer, bro. He's juggling electrician work and coaching, maybe. Who knows? Apparently, Lunchbox is dipping after this one, guys. Who the old and new coach is, so not everyone is asking, but that baits your chat interaction, brother. You know, I know I have to repeat myself, but at the same time, I kind of like the fact that like people don't know who the coach is without clicking the title, without getting in here, right? What happened to Tusk? I guess OpTic just decided that the best coach for the team would be Lunchbox. So now Lunchbox is the coach and Tusk is no longer on the team. Anyone else not excited for S&D coming to Halo? I don't like the round-based modes. Understand that S&D is not coming to competitive like directly. It's like an experimental mode that's going to be in its own playlist, and they're going to be testing it out for fun at the FaZe Invitational in the last weekend of March, right? So it's not like it's just going to get thrown into ranked play. It's going to get tested for fun at the Invitational. It's going to be in its own playlist. If people love it and it's a fan favorite, then it might eventually end up in ranked or eventually end up in like a Game 5 Slayer alternative in competitive, but only if people love it. Otherwise, it's going to have no impact on our experience. Clearly, thank you for the follow. So you could like play your ranked and probably never even end up playing S&D and not worry about it at all.
Yo, Alex, the reason we don't scrim SR is because we scrim SR every single Sunday. We already have a scrim book for Sunday. Every Sunday, 4 p.m. They've been like 9 maps.
Yeah, I mean, because they play them in tournament twice, right? Lunchbox is a full-time electrician and hung out with his during PVJ when he was doing his apprentice. Oh, that's kind of cool. In some cool background.
Triple left again, man. Don't fuck it up this time.
Guy named S&D Dylan is an S&D fan.
I'll
That checks out. I think so.
Dude, just start the guy driveway. I'll shoot the guy back. You can just take the guy.
So okay, S&D is cool, but in Halo's context, it doesn't sound like it would work, right? Like with Halo's shield system, if you're in like a 3 or a 4v1 or something, like what do? Even if you have a sniper, like the way that team play works, like unless you're just hitting perfect headshots, like it just doesn't.
Do that.
Doesn't make sense. I just can't. I don't see how you make a comeback in like a 3v1. Yeah, in Halo it doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know. Like I'm open to trying it out. I'm just saying don't assume that it's just gonna take over ranked, and they're just not gonna force it down your throat. Okay. This is being made by forgers. It's like, you know, it's just a little experimental thing. Nah, so they updated Fortress Bomb. In case you guys don't know that either. Fortress Bomb has an OS floating in the center of the map now, and the bomb plant zone is larger now. So I think it's going to make the map better to play, or more like, you know, it's not. We're not going to get stuck in OT every single game at 0-0. I think people are going to actually get some arms off. Phil, thank you for the YouTube follow, brother. Welcome. The OS is weird. I haven't even seen it yet. How does it work? Is it like suspended in midair, or is it on a platform?
Yeah, I don't think I left it. Here, Sparty, we coming, guys?
Buyback will help. Make it more. Oh yeah, the buyback feature. Yeah, but how expensive is it? How does it work? How many times can you do it per round, etc.? Like I don't know the details. Yeah, we just got to test it out. I'm curious to see how it plays on the invitational, 50K invitational end of the month, right? We can see some of the top 4 teams play S&D as like a showcase. That'll be sick. Bomb maps with grapple? There aren't. There's only one competitive map with grapple. It's Recharge, which is kind of a miss, Cyprex. Like, we kind of need, or not need, but I'd like to see more grapple in competitive personally.
Cafe, on back. Camo, Agent weak cuts, reach out to them, I'm looking around.
Should have to play one SWAT game per series? Nah.
Yeah, I'm done.
SWAT's cool, but it's like not, I don't know, it's just like not Halo kind of. I mean, depending on your background.
Two guys are done. Mental's weak. One's in CD.
The way SWAT tends to play at a high level, it just, I'm not a huge fan of.
One.
There's like kind of a campy nature to it. There's less team play because people die so quickly. Kind of removes some of the exciting team dynamic. But then again, you know, maybe I'm just, you know, maybe I don't know. Who knows?
I'm hitting.
Watch out, Spidey right there.
It is indeed not Halo. It's kind of, it's just different than like the, you know, the proper competitive Halo experience. It's cool on its own as a ranked game type, but like.
Cafe weak. Agent and B-Gen. One shot B-Gen, half health Agent. Going Cafe. Cafe's weak. Party.
Yeah, no, Nighty, we need or Nightly, we need a map that prioritizes grapple. Not like, I'm not saying add it to the existing maps. We just, it would be nice if it was in play more. Like, that's what I miss about Argyle. War Turtle, how we doing, brother? Welcome.
I got stuck. Soccer Max.
Argyle had 2 grapples, and that added a dynamic to the gameplay that was fun for spectators, right? Like, you could jump off the map, grapple back, and grapple the flag to yourself. There's so many like inventive ways to use it that we just don't have anymore. We got 2 repulses in Fortress, but the 2 repulses in Fortress, just for whatever reason, at the moment, don't feel as exciting as 2 grapples. I haven't seen like as much creativity for some reason. I don't know. Bizarre, yeah, Bizarre had like a sick grapple flag run through center map. You know, Lucid was well known for his grapple ability on that map. Catalyst had the grapple flag run. Ryan Noob was well known for his Catalyst grapple flag run, right? I think it's just it's an exciting dynamic of the game. In Catalyst, you could grapple on the outside of the map, right? Like wrap the outside of the map, and sneak up on the flag carrier. Like dynamics like that are unique to Infinite, without going so far out of the realm of like what makes Halo Halo that it doesn't work. You know, there was a balancing act there where it's like this is a new experience, but still competitive. Let's get Pat. 360 repulses, yeah. Or like launching the bomb, right? You can launch the bomb with the repulse super far. Why they removed Catalyst? Just wasn't a fan favorite.
2 cafe, John. In 1 minute, 2. Pushing John.
For various reasons. Whether it's like the structure of the map and the way the spawns work. The sandbox on the map and getting that right, you know, etc. I think Catalyst could work though. Yeah, who knows? Like Bizarre with Bandit starts would be different. Bizarre with the current version of the curb slide would be different. Like the slide has changed. The curb slide is more powerful than it was season 1. So you could slide off things that you couldn't slide off in Bizarre, you know, back when the game came out. So the routes, the flag routes, the movement possibilities on the map are different now. Grapple has a skill gap. Yeah, 100%. It doesn't feel overpowered. You're taking a big risk to use it. Oh, this is about to be domination, bro. Make it 48. Good collapse coming in from Legends for the P Street. 3 dead. GG's. Wonder which pro has the most perfects. Maybe Last Shot. If that guy's shooting 70 on average, like every scrim, then I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a lot of perfects to go with it.
You got dip, Jason?
Yeah.
You're at your PC. Where do I want you? Do you want to just hop on Discord? So, something that would be cool that I didn't take the time to figure it out. It would be cool to like get your camera in here somehow. I don't know if that's something that could be done like easily. Maybe, you know, maybe that's like more of a next time thing, but I'm just going to call you. All right, this is officially becoming a podcast now, bro. Yeah, Last Shot shoots 70 in scrims. Eli. Oh, wait, I don't hear you. Why don't I hear you? Voice and video. Try talking.
Test 1 2.
Okay, I put you through the game audio on my Go XLR, which is like kind of weird, but as long as I just raise that up. All right, talk now.
Hello.
Very nice.
Can you?
Eli, how you doing, brother?
I'm chilling, man. Been busy, that's why I haven't gotten back to you. I apologize.
That's okay.
Yeah, woke up from a nap, saw you guys having a good convo. I was like, you know what? I should probably just hop in.
Let me get in on this. Yeah, kind of a cool dynamic. I mean, adding a coach to OpTic this late, you know, kind of unexpected, but I think a great choice for the team. Maybe we just start there. What do you think? I mean, that's the big discussion right now. New coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with Lunchbox pedigree, right? Like the guy's been there, done that. Formal obviously has a lot of experience with him specifically. Like Formal was being coached by him when they won the world championship. Spent the last couple of years with him, and he probably knows the value that Lunchbox brings. Like one thing that I was thinking about was on the OpTic podcast, Bound and Formal were on there and talking about how they haven't even gone over strats yet. Like,
right.
Bound was asking Formal like, what is sneaky on live fire? Like he didn't even know what Formal's call out meant. And I think that somebody like Lunchbox probably has like a folder binder with all their opening strats, like their general game plans, like someone that can just review that stuff with the team so they can all get on the same page. I think that's going to be really valuable.
100%. Chat's trying to give me tips on like how we can maybe get your camera in here. Is that something you're open to, by the way? If you like streamed your POV and then I don't know, I like pop you out and then put you on the screen. I'm not even sure if that's like kind of a ghetto way to do this.
Nah, let's go no cam today. I literally
cam?
just rolled out of bed to hop on here.
Okay.
Yeah, like
All right. No cam, no
vibing.
pressure. I agree. Yeah, no, they're you know, now they have some incentive to actually do some VOD review, I guess. Baum was saying they've been playing like FU is like the play style or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, just kind of going in, using their past experience from, you know, their previous teams and whatnot, and just playing the Halo they know how to play. But I see a lot of like little missed efficiency things when we went back and reviewed some of the VOD. I think with Bound especially as well, right? He's got like a very risky play style. So with the right guidance, I feel like he could be incredible, but you know, sometimes that results in him making some choices that have him, you know, dead early before the rest of the team, or, you know, plays kind of falling apart.
Yeah. No, that's they're still figuring things out.
Yeah.
And the thing is they're also individually talented and they've all played eights. They've been on a lot of different teams. So it's like they generally know where they should place themselves to best help the team, and that's why they're just so good without even going over strats. But it feels like they'll only get stronger once Lunchbox like starts to get them on the same page. And that's why I said earlier, like, if I was in Lunchbox's position, and I think Lunchbox is this type of person as well, he's probably just going to be sitting there taking notes on like the way they communicate, maybe some inefficiencies in some of their strategies, times that they went too fast or too slow, and then he's going to go back and like review it with them off stream in a VOD review or something. So
Yeah, it
I
makes
think
sense.
it's going to be huge for OpTic in general, because Shopify looked like for sure the better team this last weekend, at least in grand finals.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, honestly. OpTic came out with so much energy in the winners finals, 3-0'd them, and to answer like that from SR was unexpected. Which also makes me think that maps and game types is a big part of it as well, right? Getting confident maps in winners finals. Real quick though, Eli, just so people get a bit of a background on who you are. I know you're kind of a legend in the Halo scene. Did you want to maybe introduce yourself to? Because we've got YouTube stream going, we got Twitch at the same time. Maybe tell me a bit about your background in Halo, just so the viewers know. I know you're still involved in LVT. You're doing like a lot of active things in the scene right now.
Yeah, I'll try to give you this short and sweet. Hopefully I don't rant.
Sure.
Used to be a Halo 2 guy, went pro when I was like 15 years old, mastered the double shot, was super good at that. Played Halo 3, didn't like some of the later Halos, ended up quitting and playing poker for a while. Halo Infinite comes out, I got asked to coach G1 and joined that organization. RIP, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's a dark story right there.
Yeah, that we don't need to get into that. But yeah, during my time coaching G1, you know, I watched a ton of VOD. I was playing the game a lot, so I feel like I kind of understand what it's like to be a pro coach. But yeah, then now I cast for LVT. I do coaching on Metafy, and I work for an esports consulting company. I run a high school esports league, and we're launching like a ESPN style thing for esports. But
sick.
I can't talk too much about that yet. We're still piloting a lot of stuff, but it's gonna be dope.
How does your team view Halo, by the way? Because I know, like you said, you're involved with is it do I say collegiate esports? High school esports? Collegiate.
Yeah, in the high school. They like it. Thug Nasty is actually part of the company I work for as well, and he's the coach for LG right now.
Oh, nice.
The problem is, like, we're mostly focused on the games that have the highest viewership, and Halo's pretty low on that list right now. So we've been focusing more on like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Valorant, League of Legends, those kind of games. But I've been like taking my influence and like slowly forcing more Halo into the stuff we talk about. And now there's actually more team members that are like getting into it. So
awesome. Yeah, because the moment you say that, I'm like, okay, how can we take your Halo background and apply it to this immediately? We need more young people playing Halo, you know, but like you said, you got to focus on the popular games first. Cookie, thank you for the follow. I'll watch your Formal's POV. I think I'm going to be here for a bit just because he's the only OpTic player we have, right? I'm not sure if anybody on Complexity is streaming.
Is there a way, by the way, for you to screen share so I can be in sync with what you're watching?
Let me see.
Both three. Two more, John. Two more. One's back flag. One's back flag in basement. Back flag in basement. Back flag.
Does that work?
Oh, that's perfect.
One's back flag. Left.
Good timing.
Nice.
Formal just get a Blaine Sparty right off your right off the
This
feed.
guy's just got the most
So consistent.
unfair, unnatural aim of any human. It feels like
Unnatural
it's
aim.
so it's unnaturally
Holy shit.
smooth.
Yeah.
Like,
That felt a lot easier.
and he plays with like a 5 axial dead zone. That's what blows my mind. Like, I saw his settings, and I'm a 0 dead zone kind of guy, and I consider myself to be a pretty good aimer. But like, how does he have that good control with a 5 dead zone?
Yeah, there's something very unique about his style of aiming, right? Like, he's a slower sense player. Like, I find, especially with the current meta and Infinite, everybody's raising their sensitivities. I see Royal 2 on like 9 or some shit occasionally, right? But something about Formal, he's like had what I think are the same settings for a very long time. He's got a high vertical, but a low horizontal. I think he's on like 347 or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got a very unique style. So it's cool that you pointed that out. It's kind of hard to articulate like what specifically he does that makes him so different than other players. But there's like the smoothness, I think, is what you notice immediately.
I mean, you talk about it a lot, about like more than half of aiming is having a mental map in your mind and predicting where your opponent's going to be, and then you know, placing your reticle ahead of time, all that kind of stuff. And he's got more experience in FPS games than anybody in the scene, so you could argue he should know the flow of the game better than anyone once he like taps back into whatever game he's focused on. And that's a huge part of his aiming. But even like once he gets into a piv, though, it's like how smooth he follows strafes and like is also unfazed by whatever movement option his opponent goes for, it seems, and just follows and tracks them perfectly. I don't know.
If you ask him, he'll say he just aims with left stick, by the way. He doesn't give too much
That's
insight.
bullshit.
Yeah, he's like, I just strafe, bro. I literally just aim with my left stick. That's like that's what I've heard him say in the past whenever asked about it. But his right stick tracking, I think, is what's most impressive. Like, yes, he is doing a lot of left stick work. Don't get me wrong. There's a simplicity to what he does, I think, is what it is. Like, he's kind of like the perfect example of like simple is best. You know, like
Keep it simple, stupid.
yeah, keep it simple, stupid is kind of like the way that he seems to aim. There's no fluff. You know, just correct movements only is kind of like what he seems to be focused on.
Yeah, I think most of the best players kind of embody that.
Yeah.
Last shot feels a little bit more snappy, but at its core is similar in that way. It's like it's like path of least resistance, right? Like he's not making it difficult on himself at all. He's just making it as simple as it can be.
Right. How do I put my reticle in the best, most complementary position, like pre-fight, and then what's the shortest movement, like, you know, most complementary movement to make like during the fight as well, right? Like every movement is the correct movement versus that's the thing that I try to think about, at least nowadays, is like, how do I make sure that I'm only doing the correct right stick movements and there's no, like, especially with the vertical, like noticing my vertical reticle position as I transfer from like head level to head level between different, you know, angles, depending on the layout of the map. I don't know.
But it's also like not even engaging your vertical
At all,
movement until it matters, right? Until you have to hit the headshot. So they're definitely, all the pros are very good at that. What I've also started to notice is there's a skill gap in just reading your opponent or knowing your opponent and what they're going to do, even in the micro, like predicting how your opponent might try to run away or go for a late jump based on who you're fighting, because all these guys have different percentages of tendencies when they go for late jumps, when they like drop off of objects, whatever. It's and the kind of subconscious reading of what your opponent's about to do. I think players like Frosty are exceptional at that. Like
100%.
he knows his man better than anybody when he's fighting.
Yeah, he's a perfect read on the map and the individual fights, like every single situation he's a part of. Monster is your best micro guesser? This is Eli, guys. We're talking to Eli the Ninja, yeah. Why do I have so many views? I don't know. We're a dedicated Halo streamer. We're watching OpTic. Thought Halo was dead. We're reviving Halo right now. Ideally. I don't know.
Viewership's been going up for Halo.
It has been, yeah.
Since competition restarted. Player base seems to be going down if you look at Steam charts, but viewership's going up.
Yeah, what's up with that? I feel I'm in this weird wavelength as well, where I feel like I'm playing the game less than I ever had, but I'm enjoying watching it more than I ever have. And I don't know how to fix that dynamic, right? Because for a healthy esport, healthy game to thrive, like both have to succeed, right? So I just feel like there's less and less incentive to play nowadays, and I'm not sure how that can be changed. If I have to like maybe change, create more content that incentivizes people playing. I have to like force myself to get on sometimes. I don't know, but I have no problem watching. Like I'm excited to watch. It's just a weird dynamic.
Bro, I don't play it all recently. I don't have time for it, and
yeah,
I'm watching all the esports right now to like do stuff for my job, but yeah, I don't know. I think it might just be a function of the life cycle of a game as well. Like we've all probably hit the peak that we were gonna hit as a player. You know, it's like we kind of know where we sit in the food chain, and now it's like, all right, been there, done that. Let me just watch the best do it now.
That just makes me want to get hungry and grind. When you say that, you're like, I don't know my peak. You think I know my peak?
Oh man, let's not kill ourselves.
Who are we kidding here? Halo's more fun to watch than play. Like Halo definitely has its moments playing it too. It can be stressful. It's like a love-hate relationship. It's like I hate this game as much as I love it, man. That's my difficulties. Sometimes it's so fun. Sometimes it's so frustrating. Watching it though is always exciting. So you get a consistent dopamine watching the esport. There's no pressure. It's just a good time. That dynamic is true with all games. I think it's more just more noticeable when the game is small. Yeah. Hours of LOL esports, but you rarely play it anymore. Yeah. Just finding a way to, create some popularity and a player base around the game is the best way to ensure that, we get even more viewers of the game, is sustainable. But it's cool that we at least have a lot of excitement around the esport. And do you think it's really just the roster mania that's brought us here?
It's definitely a big piece. I think OpTic is going to pull eyes regardless. Like, I mean, hence your numbers today. I feel like the OpTic intrigue on both sides. There's the OpTic lovers and the OpTic haters.
Yep.
That just want to keep up with what the hell is happening to OpTic. So there's that effect. And then obviously OpTic started all of the biggest team changes. Now there's a lot more intrigue in the league. It's also, I think, really healthy for the game that the top two teams, the very two best teams, are so close, and they're just throwing haymakers at each other every single week.
Actually,
like these two teams are separated by a single game across all of the tournaments so far. Like out of 33, OpTic has won 16 and Shopify has won 17. It's like, could these guys be any closer? And I think that's just going to drive people to want to watch the tournaments more, because it's exciting. You really don't know what's going to happen between those two teams in the finals.
I love that you've been grabbing those statistics just to show how close it really is, though, because I think people see like a 3-0 series and they're like, oh, OpTic got like they suck. This team's definitely better. When you actually put it side by side, it's like insane how close it actually is. Micro Archer, thank you for the follow. It's literally 17 wins SR to 16 wins OpTic, so SR by like the narrowest margin, I guess. And I really do think maps and game types might be part of it. Like talking with Mick when he was saying that he would give SR the advantage just off like the time that they had to practice. It seems where OpTic is weakest is the new maps and the modes, so maybe that has some validity. Like maybe OpTic kind of coming in late, Formal especially taking a break. Getting into Fortress and Bomb and whatnot kind of late to the picture. Maybe that's part of the reason why they tend to be weaker there. I don't know.
Yeah, Shopify look really cozy on Bomb. Like, I think they're by far the best Aqua Bomb team, and they don't mind playing Fortress. They don't get checked by it. By the way, have these two in this scrim played the new Fortress today?
I don't know. I don't think they have. I missed a couple games off the opening. Unless chat knows if they played Bomb earlier. Have you seen it yet with the new OS?
It says they just played it 2 games ago. Are we faded?
Did they actually? Wait, was that Bomb or was that
Origin?
CTF? Maybe they played it and like we literally just weren't paying. When we were watching Formal sniping, that might have been it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're faded as fuck.
What's the oh, it was CTF. It was CTF. Do we know the scrim score, chat? Or I can check it on Data Hive real quick. Hold on.
See, Data Hive says that the last game we played was Origin Flag, and then
it was, yeah.
Fortress Bomb was right before that.
Wait, that can't be right.
They wouldn't do 2 back-to-back flags, I don't think.
No, okay, it was Fortress Bomb. So sheet is uninformed. Yeah. It was Bomb. Okay, cool. My bad.
I didn't pay enough. We were distracted. I didn't pay enough attention to the new bomb arm
That's all
zone
good.
or
Batteries, I want-
see the overshield platform that they talked about.
Did you see the size of the plant zone?
It's like the whole damn flag, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Which
Which was kind of the suggestion I made. I thought
same.
would make it better, but it's like I think spawns probably need to be messed with or to be more playable.
Yeah, I think at least give somebody the option to like maybe get a tiny bit of wall cover. That's the cool thing about Aqua is you've got the two pillars in the front of the base that you can kind of get behind and just kind of creates that dynamic, which doesn't exist with Fortress. You just get immediate sight lines.
Yeah.
I'll play me 2 squatty with. I'll make squatty. I only hit him once. Try to kill the C guy. Try to kill the C guy. And needle drop, needle drop.
I know OpTic have a crazy record in oddball too, right?
Yeah, OpTic are super good at flag and oddball. Shopify, I think,
Behind the tower, weak.
has been splitting more flags or just straight up winning more flags. But it feels like
One in tower.
the cozy game types, the ones they've been playing for a long time, are definitely their stronger suits. Like you said, they didn't practice as much.
One tower weak, mental.
I don't know, Frosty, I feel like Frosty got a big buff. Either it's teaming with, it's probably a combination of teaming with some new young talent that's like reinvigorated him. But also, I mean, one of his favorite Halo 5 maps is now in the game, right? So
Yeah.
I think he got a buff in this offseason.
I like that you're saying that. I feel like this is something that's being noticed by like everyone right now, is that Frosty is kind of the centerpiece of SR right now. Like Last Shot got all the attention, I think, coming into the season, especially during the off season. And he's still an incredible, like, talent, and he'll get the spotlight. But recently it's been Frosty. Like, I feel like Frosty's hit this, like, this new gear where he's comfortable on this team in a way that is reminiscent of Halo 5, back when he started, where, like, the creativity's kind of flowing. He's in the right place at the right time. Yeah, I wonder. That's why I was talking about that young kid energy. I think you were in the chat for that conversation. Is SSG missing that dynamic and inspiration by playing with a bunch of veteran players versus having like new young talent on your team with SR?
Yeah, that's actually a conversation I had with a friend recently too. Is just like they're the only team that's doesn't really have new blood on it, right? Like I feel like Legend is the guy for OpTic and Bound. Really, they kind of
Bound's 25 now, which is like wow, time is flying. But yeah, he's still a younger player.
How old's Legend now? Like 20?
I think he's 22. He's in his early 20s.
Okay. Damn, no, he can't be that old. I don't think.
He's 21 or 22, I think. I swear, bro, time is flying by. I don't know.
I'm so bad.
Might
at
have to
keeping
confirm
track,
it.
to be honest.
25 is the new 17. He's 21. Okay, thank you, Superman. Yeah, he's like 21 or 22 is what I was thinking.
So SSG is like the only team that doesn't have that, and it's just when you're full of a team that have been there, done that, and like every single person on that team has won the world championship. It's like I feel like it must be hard to wake up every day with max passion when you feel like you've already been to the mountaintop. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's kind of the effect that they're having, and that's the effect that Frosty had in the last couple of years that we didn't see, like God mode Frosty like we're seeing now. But now he's been like reinvigorated, and it's almost like he's playing for the chip for his teammates now too. Like there's a certain brotherhood about them that I think armchair analysts don't quite understand. On a deeper level.
Yeah, which is so awesome. He's kind of living vicariously through the energy of these players who are trying to get their first ever LAN win. Like both Cycle and Last Shot, as disgustingly talented as they are, they've never won a LAN before, right? So there's a hunger there that just doesn't exist in his previous teams and just isn't there for SSG as well, which is just so interesting. And it's cool hearing like Mikwin as well talk about that. Is one of the biggest things, the biggest difficulties, I guess, the longer you play is just staying motivated, having the same energy and the same excitement for the game that you did when you were, in your early 20s when you were just getting started.
Yeah, that was. I mean, to be honest, that was a big problem for me personally, and why I ended up quitting Halo. Is I was tired of the stress of like playing team politics, like. I just
don't have patience for it anymore.
Yeah, not even like worried that I'm getting dropped, but I'm worried that my other teammate wants to drop the other teammate. And now I have to be a mediator and their counselor and therapist to like
oh no,
keep them from fighting each other. I don't know. It's just like it's exhausting. And then
Yeah.
I just gravitated towards solo games like poker that I only have to rely on myself. I don't have to rely on anybody else.
Yeah.
But these guys, man, they're just built different. They're just ready to grind regardless. They're playing for a lot more money than I was too. So I think if there was more money on the line, I probably would have stuck with it. But
yeah. One thing I think with like Formal specifically is just the hunger that he has to just win, bro. There's like a love for competition and winning, and I think he like if he knows he can, he's not going anywhere. You know, like that's kind of what the main driving force I think is, just like an obsession with just being the best, with just winning if you know you can. I don't know. When you brought up like switching over to poker, you made me think of like I feel like somebody like Gunny would be like so like he'd just be perfect for FGC, you know, like the fighting game community, where that type of passion and that like relentless like energy, like it's tough to deal with the team dynamics, you know, the politics and whatnot. But I just think Gunny would be like, I don't know, he'd be a beast in FGC or
bro,
something
imagine
like that.
Gunny picks up Melee in 2025, top 10 player by
Actually,
the end of the year.
Like his aura as like an FGC player would just like make you nervous, you know, like guys just got like so much passion to be the best. Narwhal, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Eli plays poker. Yeah, tell us, Eli.
Yeah, I was grinding when I was. Well, I guess I like got into it because my brother just randomly invited me to some hookah bar that was doing a poker tournament like with his friends, and like before I went to my first poker tournament, I'm a very much a preparer. Like I always want to prepare for any like thing I do. I bought 2 poker books and read them before I went to the poker tournament.
My God.
And in my first ever poker tournament, I got 2nd place.
Wow. Wait, first time like playing so you had poker experience coming into the tournament, right?
Yeah, like my family played like silly poker games growing up, but it was the first time I played like a Texas Hold'em tournament in person.
Okay.
And it was like 30 people and I got 2nd, and I just got hooked from there. Then I found out about online poker and went down that lane, started playing locally in my area in Virginia. And now I travel to casinos a few times a year to play in some of the bigger tournaments.
Wow.
Admittedly, I have not been playing as much recently as I used to, just because I've been doing all this other shit, but it's still like, I still watch it pretty frequently and keep up with it.
It is impressive, Jack. There's a lot of depth to poker that I don't have a background in, but I've I don't know, I came across this like random story or something on my Twitter feed of this old man who like entered a poker tournament like and just beat everybody. What was that all about? Is that like a real thing?
Gambledore, yeah, I was watching it live when it was happening.
Yeah, he's like
That's
80
what they
or
named
something.
him.
Yeah,
he's like I want to say he was like a toy manufacturer or something that's been retired for a long time. Just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna enter this poker tournament."
And he was just a god.
Like, he just had aura, man. It was so strange to watch. Like, he would, like, mathematically, he would have like a 16% chance to win, and he's just smiling. He says, "No, I have 100%," and then he hits the card that he needs to hit to like take somebody out.
That's like that's a movie. That's literally a movie.
He felt like a time traveler, man. When I was watching it, it was so like I was like, this guy literally has already played through this timeline. He knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. And what's crazy too, he got 2nd place. He's playing against all the best players in the world. It's like a poker circuit where there's tournaments every day.
Right.
He enters like
Against
$100,000 buy-in.
Yeah.
He enters a $100,000 buy-in tournament, gets 2nd.
How does he get that money though?
Very next day, signs up for a $200,000 tournament and wins it. So he goes 2nd first. Both of the tournaments had over 100 or 200 players in them.
Holy.
And he gets some money from, like I said, he was like a retired like toy inventor or something like that.
Okay.
Just had a shitload of money from whatever toys he made.
Yeah, so it's not Halo, but if you guys are curious, maybe look up Gambledore. Is that what he's called? Gambledore?
Yeah, there's been a few like short form documentaries that people have made about it,
right?
Because it was such a crazy thing that happened.
It's one of those things where, regardless of where you come from, if you got no background in poker, it's like very engaging, interesting.
Yeah,
yeah, it just transcends beyond the sport. You know, you're like, what the hell? Like, this guy's like a movie character. You know, how is he such a natural? Kind of crazy. Knew the enemy spawns. Yeah, like a time traveler, right? Like he just kind of. You see that type of role in movies where you've got somebody who's just unreadable because he's got this like sprezzatura, like this effortless like confidence where, you know, and he's like goofy. He's like laughing and having fun. You just can't read that type of personality. You're gambling away $100,000, but acting as if you know they're in like a playground or something. You know, like. I don't know. It's a casual nature. It's
definitely. I agree with the person said. The guy literally is the definition of aura. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen a person with more aura than Gambledore. The guy's just special, man.
I think that's a real thing. That whole aura thing. Like, and it's just like my mom. I'm taking a weird tangent with this. My mom is very spiritual, and she'll say that you can see energy, you can see aura on somebody, and like how like if you're. Let's say you're like at the gym and maybe I don't know if this is a good example. If somebody's like looking at you, staring at you from behind, you can tell that they are or something. Like if you look at somebody, like long enough, then they'll kind of like get that feeling that they're being stared at, and then you'll make eye contact or something like that. Like I feel like that's aura. Like if you direct your energy at somebody. Anyway,
I'm gonna be honest, Alex. I could go on a 2-hour tangent talking about crazy shit like that, but let's try to stay focused.
Well, so the connection is so taking that concept of aura. How do you think that applies to somebody like Last Shot? And the way
he definitely
plays?
has it. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Talik. One thing that always sticks out of my mind. So I don't remember which event it was last year. It was one of the events that Pure got like top 4 or something when Last Shot was on it. And we interviewed Cherished and Talik on the LVT couch.
Okay.
And I asked Talik about Last Shot. I was like, "What's it like teaming with Last Shot?" And he's like, "Bro, he's just different. He's special." He says when he's on my team, like he says I feel like he's the main character, and I'm just like. He says, "I'm just like a tertiary character in the comic book, like, but he's the protagonist."
Background cast. Wow.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just part of his story. Like he's the guy, and it's so true though. Like I don't know, he just comes out of nowhere. He's got all this energy, just believes in himself fully, and just makes it happen. I don't know. There's definitely something to that.
Yeah, no, there's something powerful to that, and I think it's why Frosty's playing so well. I think there's like there's an excitement behind their approach to the game, and this general aura, I guess, that builds up the people around you. Maybe he is the main character in this SR team too. It's very interesting.
Could definitely write a shonen anime about the
100%. Yeah. I think the biggest thing though is like how can you channel it? Like it has to just come authentically. Is there a way to channel that energy? Because like. Not everybody is naturally talented at Halo, but being able to mirror that sort of energy to an extent could draw that reality to you is kind of the idea that I have in mind, at least, right? Like certain players who are missing that's like the one thing that they're kind of butting their head against that's stopping them from being a top player. Can they change that energy? Can they kind of mirror and match, the vibes that Last Shot brings, and then and gradually start to improve and become that chosen one type player as a result of changing their energy. Anyway,
I forget who the Greek person this is named after, but like the self-fulfilling prophecy type thing.
Yeah,
where you believe something until it's real, and it can go both ways, right? You believe that you're a piece of shit, you might become a piece of shit. Like low-key. Get into some deep life shit, but
this is some deep life shit. Yeah,
you gotta believe in yourself, man, or like your brain will mold you into the person you think you are.
Yeah, we are our thoughts essentially, right? Yeah,
I fully believe in that. It's the Kratos. You could call it either the placebo effect or the Kratos effect.
Kratos effect. Top 10. Top 10 in every category.
Yeah, like he genuinely believed in himself until the man got second place at Worlds. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't quite continue to work. Maybe some doubt crept into his mind at some point, but
something worked along the way. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the best players are kind of like, they're criticized for the level of their ego, but it's also what drove them to get there in the first place. It's a tricky balancing act, though, for sure.
Let's lock into this, though. It looks like Complexity won the first round. OpTic win the second. They're looking pretty good in this round, at least for the exact moment. Yeah. Feels like they're Bound just has the complete A side.
How does Precision get out with his life there, right? He's still not dead on the feed. Mental dies. Precision kills Legend. Formal had him weak in the bottom of blue pipes. He finally dies. They still got ball time off that.
I think Bound is just easily gonna play this. Yeah. To me, this map feels the easiest to read spawns. It's like a triangle, right? Like you either spawn elevator, C, or in gold. And it's like you spawn gold, your teammates in elevator, the other team's at C. So it's like you can always just whichever area is not occupied by your team, that's where the other team's spawning.
Correct. There's some
easy to predict.
Yeah, there's some really weird spawns in this map though, and this would probably be hard to demonstrate, but just looking back at the grand finals 2 weeks ago between Shopify and OpTic, like Cycle got a spawn that was like in a weird spot in long haul that I don't know how it was created, you know, like a fight maybe just finished in A, he had a teammate in A, but he like spawned to the other side of the map. I'd have to show it to you for it to make sense. Or like Bound got a spawn in Trippy Corner, and that's like kind of a unique spawn point to get in the Trippy Corner, right? So it's like, why is that happening? Because yeah, sometimes it is cut and dry. Like I know they're gonna spawn pipes if we're pushing out C and we got, you know, coverage on the map or whatever. Sometimes it's like a little weird and hard to understand.
There's a finite number of variables that impact a spawn, and it's like in the exact frame that the spawn is being chosen, is a player on their team taking damage? If a player on their team is taking damage, the game is less likely to spawn them in that area.
Yeah.
But then there's also the line of sight of all the enemy bandits and where they're pointed is going to influence it in some capacity as well.
Yeah, who died where, right? Like if somebody died somewhere, they have a lingering negative influence on their spawn. It's the weighting of everything that's tricky, right? It's like all we have to do is just make assumptions like in the moment based off what we know, but like how is it calculating? We'll never know, you know? Like what's the exact weights of everything in the moment? There's definitely a case study that could be done there as well, you know? Like what's the percentage priority of each variable in each moment, you know? And what kind of dictates that? Complicated.
Have you seen the Halo 1 spawn map website? You know what I'm talking about?
I haven't.
CEspawns.com, I think is what it's called.
Sounds dope though.
It's fucking crazy, man. Like they have, because the game's been around for so long, they know precisely how the spawns work. Basically, you load up any map on the website and you use WASD in your mouse to like move around in this 3D model of the map. And wherever you're standing, it will have percentages floating above all the spawn points in your vicinity to say like that's where you would spawn your teammates.
That's insane.
Yeah, based on down to like the pixel where you're standing.
Wow.
And there's all these like highlighted areas that would, if you're in those zones, you give your teammate a random spawn. So like the very best Halo 1 players, if they're in a bad position, like 2v2 is very common, right? If they're in a bad position, they'll intentionally go to one of those random spawns to spawn their teammate out so they don't spawn in the bad position. Or they'll stand in a spot to give their teammate a very specific spawn point that has like higher ground. It's insane.
That's the level of depth I'd love to see for something like Infinite, but I think that's like a lost art sort of with CE, right? The way the spawn system works and how like it can be manipulated to a T is just something I don't think we'll ever get back to that degree, right? Like there's a real system to CE. If you're standing in a certain location, you're gonna get the exact same effect, or like you said, a random spawn every time. I feel like Infinite can't be manipulated in the same way.
I'm gonna send you this website, so before this next game starts, I just want you to see it because I think you'll nerd out.
They lost every recharge. Formal just said it, which is kind of wild. I don't know. Be kind of curious to see like what specifically is going wrong. I know we said we got to do a proper review at some point, Eli.
Yeah, at some point. Wait, Formal went 30 and 50. Did you see that?
Yeah, insane damage.
14,000 damage.
Yeah, insane damage out of the lobby, and they lost it. 30 and 50, bro. I don't know.
Crazy stat. Yeah, it's just halospawns.com.
Okay.
Just want you to see it before this loads up. Just click
Explore
like
the
the map. Yeah.
Give me a map. Does it matter?
Hang 'em high.
Out of 2,000 people, there's got to be some trolls, right?
Okay.
Expected, bro.
How do I?
I can't see your screen, but
Oh.
you should be able to just move around like
Oh my god.
with WASD
Okay.
and like look down at the
What is this?
spawn.
Here, hold on. Maybe I can stream it to you.
You see like the 33%, how that's changing. As you move towards the spawn, it's changing how likely you are to spawn your teammate in that spot.
So it's just
You can
with,
see how
with
fluid-
where your teammates spawn, basically, is what it's doing.
Yeah, basically, because it's all squad spawns in Halo 1. There's no other way the spawns work. So like,
Is
it's
it not-
less than 1 when you get that close because you're blocking it. You're blocking the exact spawn point.
I see. Is this like
Go,
100% possible? This is like 90% chance that it happens. Go where?
Yeah.
One's pillars, pillars.
Why don't I see any of the random spawns? Okay. Oh, you don't have randoms checked. Do you see in the top left? There's some checkboxes.
How do
I don't know if there's a way to. Yeah, check randoms. Okay, so all these pink areas. If you're standing on any of these pink areas, your teammate will get a random spawn instead.
What
So the pros have these areas memorized to know where they should stand to give their teammate a random spawn.
It's kind of nuts. Damn. It's very interesting. And it's like to a specific like line. Like if you're on like on top of the box and like this like right here, you might get the random. That's actually kind of crazy. Anyway,
I
wow.
have no idea how they mapped this exactly.
Yeah, how do you
There's
figure that
somehow
out,
in the
right?
code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get in like the wireframe kind of version of the game or whatever. Like, hold on.
One step weak. One was cement, probably cement or something.
I streamed again. Or restarted the stream.
Yeah, I can see it.
Classic hang 'em high. Splatoon? Yeah, the way that it was set up.
Nice one. Nice one. Nice. Nice one. Nice. Look at that, man. I'm waiting for you. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back. Nice. Pill.
So Lunchbox left apparently. He was there for like half the scrim and then he had to go somewhere.
That's also weak.
He's a busy man.
Back green. Big door. Big door weak.
Pretty sure he's like a electrical engineer or something.
Electrician or something, yeah.
Must
Quick
make good
forward
money because he does not seem willing to stop doing that.
Yeah, apparently Formal had to beg him, is what I heard, to to get him to come back.
It's so interesting to me. Like,
Any idea why? I guess we'll never know. We just have to like speculate, right? Like if you're in his position, you probably want to keep coaching, right?
for OpTic, he's
Yeah.
probably getting paid a shitload of money. Like, I don't. That contract can't be cheap.
Makes you wonder why you'd walk away.
Just wants to do something else in his life, I guess. Oh man, does he live this? Oh,
That's
was gross.
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, one. They picked up Lunchbox today. Full game cast? I don't know. Could we, Eli?
I don't think I'm in a casting mood right now. I'm sorry, man.
Going like full energy? That's okay. I mean, it's supposed to just be chill.
I'm like kind of sick. You could probably hear me sniffling a little bit.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like trying to
I think go back in A, John. I think go back in A.
take it easy.
Two guys green. Sparty's weak. Sparty's really weak.
They got a great lockdown on the map, though. Got him spawning a B. Kind of an unfortunate death, though. Sparty killing him. Going to open up access to the hill. But spawning the B like that when you got A coverage and players in tower is just such a difficult place to break out of if played well.
Yeah, if you got a player sandbags shooting you in the back of the head while you try to advance the nest, like honestly, if you're spawning green in that position where there's a guy sandbags and the other team's all over tower, like your best play is probably to wrap through garage, get behind the sandbags player, kill him, and then your team can make a full push forward. A lot of these teams try to skip steps, or they think they're just gonna fucking outgun the guy sandbags, and like sometimes it works, but I think as like a higher percentage to work out to give your team a chance to actually capture this hill, you have to take care of the sandbags guy first.
Yeah, I definitely see that with some of these pro scrims is they'll take the extra step and they'll play through big door, and that like ensures they get the break, especially because their teammates end up spawning green behind them, so it creates a pinch scenario, right? Where like you get progress on the map. By the time you get to A plat, you're shooting in the back, and they're getting shot in the front by the guy who just spawned green, who's like chowing A plat. So it opens up an opportunity for your team as well. But you have to have timing for it, right? Like look at this, they're about to lose the hill.
More tires to dummy door weak.
That's like the it's like the hoaxer play as well. Like on recharge, you go all the way around and wrap for C plat for the bottom mid hill. If you have enough time for it, you know.
It's correct. Yeah. Just like there's certain perimeter flows that are advantageous going one direction, but disadvantageous going the other direction. For example, like on recharge, if I want to get to C plat from A, going through tower is very difficult against a team that is going to be watching the first doorway and then the second doorway. There's like a series of choke points you have to advance through if you're going to go through tower. But if you approach C from long haul, you kind of have the advantage because you can shoot them from the hallway side. You can jump onto the sneaky. Like you just have more options for outplaying the other player.
Yeah.
So it's like the geometry of the map will award certain routing like more or less advantages.
That's a good point. Yeah, it does. Yeah. And then choosing that strategically so you get the best possible, not just like advantage while you rotate, but also best spawns for your teams to follow up on that too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Tim, what's up, man? So OpTic just picked up Lunchbox as a coach. We were kind of hinting at it last night, and it happened, which is dope. Unfortunate for Tusk, who I guess has been replaced, but I think it's the best thing. It's the one big thing that the team needed to really kind of like, you know, hit their final form is have Lunchbox coaching. I don't know, the way that I've kind of justified it, Eli, is I feel like the team is full of players who, like, you could argue are best in the world on any given day. They need a coach that is at the same caliber. That's kind of where I see it. It's like you got to have a coach who's like, you know, kind of best in the world as well. Oh my God.
That was disgusting. Yeah. I sense that
Tusk
Tusk was not doing enough to impress Formal.
Right.
Like, and honestly, like I was watching Tusk play with Legend and matchmaking, and it just didn't feel like that mutual respect that should exist between coach and player. Like they were kind of bickering at each other, and it was just a strange dynamic, I think, between player and coach. And it's also like, was Tusk even working hard? Was he just collecting a paycheck and playing TFT in the corner? Like you don't know what the behind the scenes looks like. And he could have been totally fine, and Lunchbox is just a step above as far as like caliber of a coach. But I think that Lunchbox will bring like a new dynamic of expectation to the team, so they don't just play and goof off.
Yeah.
Which I feel like this team is potentially susceptible to like get lazy. They're all just super talented, especially in scrims where they're way better than the team they're playing against. Like they might start developing bad habits, but a person like Lunchbox will keep them in check.
Yeah, they need like a leadership figure, a mentorship type figure who, yeah, like you said, keep them in check, focused, and like he brings a level of legitimacy. They'll take him seriously. They take his opinion seriously, and I can see them working harder because of it too. So yeah, W move. Wait, it happened. Why did he come back? So my understanding is that like Lunchbox has talked about, or sorry, Formal's talked about this before, that he never wanted Lunchbox to leave OpTic, right? He wanted him to be a part of the team. Lunchbox, on his own accord, decided to step away. And I think with the last couple weeks, especially with you know, losing to SR in Grand Finals just the other day, Formal has you know, really been adamant about bringing Lunchbox back. Apparently he yeah, just wouldn't let him go. I don't know. He convinced him somehow.
Formal's been on so many different teams. He understands how team dynamics are. He understands like when the vibe is off or what the team needs. So like, I think I would totally trust that call if I was any of his teammates. Like,
100%.
Yeah, this and a coach. A lot of people that watch might be like, well, what impact does a coach have? It's not like they're on the sticks, but it's like it can bring a whole different vibe to the team.
100%.
And a person like Lunchbox, like I would trust him to say like, slow down, this isn't our time to push yet, or it's time to go, like those kind of things, which he's good at. And then somebody in your chat mentioned earlier him saying, let Joey snipe. It's like he's got the eye to know who's on fire.
Yes.
And like who to trust with the power weapon. I think that's a big skill as well.
That's a great way to look at it. Yeah, who's on fire, right? Have a good eye for the game to like bring the best out of the right player in the right moment. That's actually really cool. And that takes a veteranship. That takes like, you know, years and years and years of like having won tournaments, having, you know, been through multiple Halo titles. I think that's the disadvantage that Tusk has is like you said, they're friends with Tusk first, right? They play Halo with him. They play twos with him. he's on the same sort of level, you know, so it's harder to kind of respect and take what he says seriously. My God, let's go, Torch. Thank you for the sub, brother. Love having Eli on. Yeah, man's a goat. Thank you, man.
Will he be at Worlds? Yeah, I'll be at Worlds for sure. I'll be at all the lands except for this one that's coming up.
You're not going to
Tucson
Arlington?
thing.
Oh, you mean the Invitational?
Yeah, not the Invitational. We are casting it on LVT though. It's from home.
Okay.
It's a 1 day, so it would have been silly to travel, to be honest.
It's a 1 day event? I didn't know. Oh, it makes sense. That makes sense.
It's just 4 teams. Yeah, it's just gonna be a Saturday. Yeah, I'll be at all the other lands. But I guess one other thing I wanted to say about the Lunchbox telling Trippy to be the one to pick up Sniper. There's so many layers to that, in my opinion, because also think about Trippy as a personality type. Imagine that Trippy is down on himself. I feel like he's more likely to like play slightly worse if he's in a bad mood. And to have someone believe in him could potentially level him up to be the best player in the lobby, like low key. I think that he's that type of personality. And so the coach knowing how to bring the best out of each player on the team, just based on like a interpersonal type situation, like Lunchbox is great at that.
I agree. This is Eli on the cast with me. Sorry, it's not in the title. Maybe I could do an update to the YouTube title. This was sort of impromptu. Normally I would have planned to have you on, Eli. But it just kind of worked in the moment.
Crashed the party.
That's okay. Eli the Ninja, longtime Halo competitor. Now you're casting. Now you're coaching, right?
Yep.
He's casting with LVT, so you guys probably heard him on the LVT broadcast.
I'm using my chill hangout voice instead of my casting voice right now, so I don't know how different they are.
Oh, true. Good point. Chill voice. Big game Trippy. Yeah, so maybe sometimes Trippy needs a little extra motivation, right? I think coaching can provide that that motivation sometimes. It takes the right type of person, the right type of coach to know how to like bring the best out of an individual player or your team. And when the vibes are down, they definitely will fall apart in certain moments. I think you especially notice that with OpTic when like the bracket resets in grand finals and you got to get back to your confident state of play, or they lose one of their best maps and game types. Like I feel like that really hurts them. It takes a lot of momentum out of their ability in the follow-up game.
For sure. This is such a momentum-based game now, I feel like, at this stage in the year 4. Everybody's good. Nobody misses. It's like the team that like takes full... It's not just the advantages in the game, but it's also like outside of the game, like pressing your I'm on fire advantage. Like your on fire status isn't going to last forever. So it's like get the most, win the game the fastest while you're on fire. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There's something to that.
Speaking of on fire, that flag is about to go in. That was like a nice clean 4 dead. He's still blocking util, spawning them fridge. Like
this is perfect.
Yeah, what's the play here though? Do they push back into blue base and just clear out blue base guaranteed? Like take it slow? They're trying to break through P1.
I mean, they're holding P1, intentionally not moving close enough to the fridge to block the spawn. They want to leave that spawn open.
The play for
all
their
exit
opponents,
points.
I meant. Sorry, the play for complexity to break it is what I was thinking.
Need to try to play through the base, but now they've flipped the spawns intentionally and let them spawn util as they've taken over P side.
Yep. This is a clinic.
This is so far by the book. Husk gets a double though. The patience from Formal.
Yeah.
Quarter shield, lets his teammate who's full shields put it in.
There's so much aim in our flag, guys. So much aim in our scrims.
So much damage in our flag.
Never understood where the switch happened. Sorry. They were up 3-0 and now all of a sudden game 7. In the grand finals, you're saying, Alvin, yeah? Or Alvian? Talk about last season.
Absolutely.
Last season or last
season with OpTic, like maybe because they lost in like every way you could last season, right? They'd be up 3-0 and then all of a sudden like SSG would make a comeback. Next thing they know, they're losing grand finals, It
almost sounds like he might be talking about the way OpTic lost to FaZe in that World's finals as well. They won the first 2 and then lost 8 in a row.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Painful.
I'm doing good, Carrot. Sorry if I am not as interactive. We're juggling a couple things at the moment. Feel free to vibe and just hang out with us. If I do see your question, I'll try to get to it.
Yeah, I've been trying to shut up for a second so you can keep up with chat occasionally.
You're good. I also don't want to interrupt you too, so it's just making sure I'm not like cutting off your train of thought.
You're good. Oh my god, that grenade.
Just 2 clean kills off of it. Flag moving in perfect unison here too. Oh, he doesn't get it out. Oh, I'm tripping, bro.
Wait,
Just saving this flag. Yeah.
Back pillar weak precision. Back pillar weak precision.
I don't know who had an angle. Oh,
Tusk not the coach anymore. Broward Lunchbox got picked up. Do you think that
Broward in
Lunchbox
chat?
being on OpTic is going to create new OpTic fans? Like, I feel like the dynamic around OpTic is like, Formal is seen as like the master villain, you know, like he's like the evil mastermind who kicked poor Lucid and Boys like off the OpTic roster, you know, and tried to like buy the best team in the league. But I don't know. I feel like Lunchbox coming to the team actually brings like a sort of like a positive energy. Like he's like a good guy, Lunchbox. You know, he's one of the. I don't know. I feel like that
Can't
might
root against Lunchbox.
How do you root against Lunchbox, right? Like, that was kind of sneaky. Like, I feel like now that you see Lunchbox there, if you were, like, kind of you weren't a fan of, like, how things split with OpTic, but you see that, you might change your mind a little bit, no? Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the OpTic fans are going to stay OpTic fans regardless. There's some people that are... It doesn't matter the game, the team.
Oh,
if
for sure.
it's got the OpTic name on it, like, they're all in. Which is fine. It's just like supporting a franchise in like a sport or whatever.
So Nessie's saying, nah, it just drives the Formal buying everything storyline that we've seen from the haters. Fair enough. haters gonna hate regardless.
Now they're buying their coach back too.
Yeah. Can't believe this. I don't know. I do like to see SR play as confidently as they do, because like that dynamic of like you can't buy a win in anything, right? You got to earn your win in Halo, regardless of, yeah, they got incredible players, and on paper they should have the most potential to win, but it's clear that like there's so much talent in Halo, and if they're not, you know, locked in, not trying their hardest, that can get stolen away from them at any moment. SR's proven that.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. That was my high school yearbook quote.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you, Emil. Appreciate it, brother. Hardest split between SSG and SR, but leaning towards SR. Interesting. Eli, do you have any particular... I know you're a caster. You're not allowed to be biased, but like, is there a team that you get most excited about when you see win?
I'm definitely excited about Shopify.
Okay.
Just because, like, I don't know, I root for the underdogs. You're right. It does kind of, in a way, feel like OpTic are the villains in this season.
It does a little bit. Yeah.
And it's like everyone else had to pick up the pieces from the storm that Formal left behind.
Hurricane Piper.
Yeah, from Hurricane Piper. And but I'm excited about Luminosity, to be honest. I think this Avicii guy is he's the future.
Really?
I would not.
This Avicii guy.
This is gonna be my bold prediction. Is Avicii gets picked up by a top 5 or 6 team
Later in the year? Oh, by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think he's next up.
Yeah, because people have been asking me in chat, like, who's the next, like, you know, last shot sort of player. Last shot's been... He's still so new to a lot of people, but he's been kind of the center of the spotlight. Is there anybody else in the scene that's, like, got that same sort of potential that we should be talking about? And I feel like Avicii is kind of like that next up. He's, what, 17 years old? So
something like that, yeah.
We don't know his potential just yet. He's still very new to the picture, but I like that you brought that up. LG is a huge question mark. Luminosity have this way of like sneaking into Halo like right before a tournament, signing a team in a kind of like hands-off basis, you know? Like they come in, they support a team for an event. If it doesn't go well, they might just dip and you wouldn't even know that they left, you know? But this team is interesting, this LG team. It's full of like sort of unproven... I don't know if that's the word to use, but like some of them are brand new players. Some of them have kind of been around for a while, but you might not know them too well because they've kind of been licking at top 12, you know, the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It seems like they have a newfound potential with this roster that I wonder if it will carry to lane.
Piggy is extremely underrated and has a chip on his shoulder because he's just been fucked for years. Like, I don't know. I don't understand how Piggy continues to get screwed over. The guy's Got a level head. Honestly, you know, this is a crazy take, and I wonder if he's gonna hear this, but I think if his gamer tag wasn't Piggy, people would take him more seriously. Like there's I feel like there's
It's honestly
something to
kind of
his
facts.
name
Yeah.
that make it so people don't take him as seriously, but he's like low-key a goat. Like he's fucking good.
It's actually super interesting. Do you feel like people in any way embody their gamer tags as well too? Like if you have a name Piggy, does it like would it like make you a more passive person by, you know what I mean? Like Bound as a gamer tag, something about that sounds like the gameplay that he, you know what I mean? Like there's Renegade and his gameplay and his gamer tag. Yeah, they're related. There's like there's a confident kind of component to that is mirrored in his gameplay. So that's actually a really important point that you brought up. Piggy is funny, yeah. So like people maybe they don't take it seriously. Maybe they see it as something that's like not it's not scary. It's not gonna put the nerves on you, you know. Like in a lobby, you see Piggy, you're like, oh, it's so cute, you know. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Snipe
I feel like it also
yeah.
it like instills fear or like in your opponents. Like there's the clip of Bound against fucking what was the guy's name, like Mr. Chicken or some shit like that. And like Bound and Mr. Chicken, somebody in chat will correct me hopefully, but there's a really good player in Australia with a ridiculous tag like that, like Mr. Chicken. And like Bound is playing him in matchmaking and not taking him seriously because his tag is fucking Mr. Chicken. So he like rechows and Mr. Chicken just starts cooking him. Like it's like he's like, who the fuck is this guy, man? Like,
well, that's
fuck is Mr. Like if he'd had a different gamer tag, I wouldn't have fucking rechowed. It's so true though.
That's a different kind of mind game then. So it's unassuming then. So like there's a like a mix up kind of component to it. So you could say that like if you have a confident gamer tag, then maybe that you'll mirror that in your playstyle. But if you've got like one that's like confusing, like Piggy, that's a joke, then people might not assume you're as good as you are. Or maybe there's like a kind of like a sneaky mind game component to that. That's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, man of chicken. Thank you, chat.
Man of chicken. Yeah.
What's up, Toad? Got some Eli viewers in here now.
Shyway is shivering, moving on the map. So there's a version of my gamer tag, like a secondary account that I have that's instead of Shyway, it's a Z instead of the S. So it's just my name, but with a Z instead of the S. And it like kind of
Shyway,
like Zyway, and it kind of looks hard, bro. Like something about it. Like I feel like if I had a gamer tag like that, I don't know, it might change my play style. Like I might have more of an ego when I play, you know. Like I don't know. It's like why is Dead Zone changing his gamer tag like every season? There's something to this, okay? There's something deeper here.
Yeah, no, it's an identity thing. You got to think back because you're saying Renegade, like he embodies a renegade, but it's like, yeah, maybe that's why he fucking made his name that because like like you make your name based on your personality, and then your personality comes out in your gameplay as well.
Well, wasn't his first gamer tag like Godly or something like that? Like his
might have been.
Yeah, he literally called his gamer tag was like Godly or I don't know. I can't remember. He had like he talked about it at one point, like an interview. But just shows the size of the the ego and the belief in his ability. It's like anyway.
Toad says I disagree. Piggy is an awesome gamer tag. I also like the I like the tag, but yeah, it's just in the competitive landscape, your colleagues need to take you seriously enough to like believe in you. And there's some like layer of respect that I do think comes from the gamer tag. And it's like on a team with like it feels a little bit like too innocent or something. I don't know. It's like a very innocent tag. And it's like I kind of want my teammate to be a hard ass that's gonna like beat the shit out of somebody. And I don't get that vibe from Piggy, you know?
Yeah. And I wonder
like
if
he is a badass that could beat the shit out of somebody. But it's like the tag doesn't reflect that.
I've definitely seen some of that energy in his tweets recently, which I think is kind of cool. Like he's been, he kind of started the year with a statement where he's been like slept on, and he's gonna prove a lot of people wrong. He's like, if I shit on you, like don't. I don't know what I don't know if you saw his tweet from the beginning of the year. He's like, something like, don't be surprised if I shit on you or something like that, like to start the year. And I'm like, oh like damn, all right, a little bit of sauce, right? And then he's on LG and they get top 6 in an event. So like I actually feel like he's backing it up, which is kind of cool.
Oh, he's definitely backing it up. He's very talented.
Yeah.
He's very smart too. Like he's a philosopher of the game as well, and I think a good leader on top of that. So it's like I think he's the whole package. That's why it's kind of perplexing when he's so slept on. But yeah, LG is definitely one of my other picks because of him, because of Yaxon, because of Mortally, who I think finally might be with the right mix of players to like show what he's capable of, and then Avicii, who's just God mode.
Yeah. So Blondie said there's an Apex player named Unlucky, and Matt said he would never team with someone named that.
That's valid.
That's so valid. Yeah. Nah, but even I've heard Formal say like part of the reason why he would never team with Royal 2 is because his name is Matt. You can't have like 2 Matts on a roster.
That's a crazy. That's kind of a silly reason, I think.
Yeah, but it's kind of valid though too. Like if somebody says Matt, like you're calling you by because they call each other by their first names. Formal calls Legend Sabri, right? Like Adam and.
I'm gonna play dummy door with Colin.
Anyway,
Sabri is actually his last name, but I think that's what he goes
wait,
by.
no, is it? Are you sure?
His first name's Casey.
Oh, is it?
KACI.
Okay. My bad.
But it's also could just be a French culture thing, right? Like friends call each other by their last name or something. Who knows?
Okay.
I'm looking at him real quick.
Yeah.
Bigger.
But I think that the same name thing's kind of silly because it's like you just decide which one of you is going to go by Matt and which one of you is going to go by your gamer tag.
Right. Or like a last name or something like that, like a different nickname, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there might be more to it than that. I just thought it was funny. It sounded. We play on that when I'm casting. It's always like Matt v Matt, you know, like whatever they go head to head.
Me and Mikowski will sometimes say 1T versus 2Ts because
yeah.
Royal 2 is just the 1T.
Right.
Cuts one, Sparty absolute, one dummy out.
Brad for Brad. Yeah, kind of good.
Did you see Sparty's movement on that? I think you were reading chat.
I was. Do some crazy jiggle peek action or something on the.
It was just like he did this circular crouch strafe that like threw off Formal's aim.
He's been doing that since season 1.
Put her out.
Yeah, Sparty's got some crazy like circle crouch strafe or something that is hard to recreate. I don't know.
Eli the Ninja, best name? I don't know about that. My name.
A lot of syllables in yours.
Yeah,
Eli on its own is easy.
I think I was like 12 when I made this my tag. And it's all because I had a friend that I played with. It was like, you're so sneaky. You play like a ninja. And like at the time, I just needed to make a new tag. And I was very uncreative and just made it my name, the Ninja.
That's usually how it goes. You fall into your gamer tag. You don't come up with it. Or that's how it's been for me. You kind of just fall into it.
Yeah.
Best name in Halo history is Tots. All right. Got to do a tier list, a gamer tag tier list. That's definitely content right there. Gamer tag tier list.
I think Tools did that once.
Yeah, I think
He's
he did.
got horrible takes though. He's got horrible takes.
He had horrible takes. Okay, it has to be redone.
Yeah, somebody with a brain needs to do it.
Yeah. Oh, ouch.
Shout out Tools. Those gold lobbies.
These gold lobbies, bro. There's some deep animosity there that I don't know about. It's like,
no, it's just like a running joke on LVT. Like Tools won't even be part of the show in any way, shape, or form. And I'm like breaking down strategy. And I'm like, you won't see that in a lobby with Tools.
Right.
Gold lobbies.
I like that dynamic.
He's actually Onyx and he's a solid player. But
oh, I see him in the lobby every once in a while.
That's fun.
Eli, have any insight on how many contacts are structured for contract, or how contracts are structured for pros? Is that what you're saying? What determines salary? Might be a complicated question.
It's extremely variable, to be honest. Obviously, orgs don't have an infinite amount of money, so it's often related to the budgets, the performance of the team. Some contracts come with like, what's it called? Incentives, I guess. Like if they place a certain amount, they get a bonus. But it's so variable. Like, I'm not going to name any specific orgs when I say this, but like some orgs are only paying like $1,500 a month, and some orgs are paying $15,000 a month.
Wow.
So it's
in
highly
Halo
variable.
though. You think Halo would put up numbers like that, like 15,000 a month? That sounds like a lot.
Certain players ask for that much, or they will not sign.
It's like first year Halo Infinite, way more money in the esport. Now it's harder to get a sense of where it's at.
Like Cloud9, for example, they sold their team. They used to have basically like the SSG, like
no,
Eco,
no.
Stellar, Renegade.
Always happy goals,
And they were paying a lot for that team, but I think did some type of cost benefit analysis and realized they weren't profiting off of it whatsoever. So
Yeah.
they dropped the team. Space Station picks up the contract, offers them the amount of money they want to play for, and now Cloud9 pays a quote unquote lesser team a bit less. And they save money, which I think makes sense as an esport that's in or an org that's in a ton of different esports, right? Like you
Right.
can't put all your eggs in one basket, and Halo's most certainly one of the least viewed esports that Cloud9's a part of. So
Sure.
it's
Same.
like it's hard to justify.
Bro, it's 48 to 47 right now. 49. Oh my god. That's it. Oh, Heist gets the last kill. That's the dynamic I think with LG is they jump into the esport with like a low investment and kind of take a gamble on a team that, you know, might have potential to go far, and if they don't, then maybe they didn't maybe they don't lose too much in the process, you know? Like that Luminosity thing could be like a lottery ticket. You know, if they play like incredibly well all of a sudden, you know, it justifies the investment. But
It's like if you're winning, you can justify like the exposure that you get from a first place finish. But at the same time, it's like, how much does an org actually get from a singular tournament win in a single game, right? Like they get money, more eyes, and probably sponsorships if it's like a dynasty level team, and there's only so many spots available for that, right?
yeah.
I was like, I spent mid and then.
Yeah, I mean, formal subs alone is a hell of a lot of money for a month, right? What's he making? Do you make $3 per sub as a partner? Is that how it works?
They actually put that server pretty
You know that?
Were you talking about for Twitch?
Mm-hmm.
AZ, thank you for the 2 for 9.
I want to say it's 70-30, so you would make like 3 and some change, like 3.
Oh damn! It's 70-30 as a partner. You get 70.
It's when they changed the structure. You have to get a certain number of subs in a single month, that like actual subs, not Twitch Prime subs, like whatever the name is for it, like tier 1 subs. Once you hit that certain threshold, then you will get paid 70-30 for that month.
Oh, interesting. So you can be a partner and not hit that threshold and then not get paid that?
Yeah, you could be a partner and still make 50-50 if you don't hit the metrics.
No way. Oh, damn. That's kind of unfortunate.
Yep.
Because I'm an affiliate right now, so I guess I'm on the 50-50.
Yeah, you're on 50-50.
Yeah. I thought I'd immediately get the bump. That's a shame. YouTube takes 70 of everything. Or it takes 30. Sorry, it takes 30. It gives you 70. YouTube takes 30 of everything. By default, which I guess is a better balance.
So are you not allowed to partner for both? I know that some of the platforms have like different rules with that kind of stuff.
I don't know. I think what, like Sparty's partnered on Twitch and he streams in 2 places, right?
Yeah,
Streams in,
I
like
think
4 places.
I think they recently
Tony
changed
streams in
it.
different
Like,
places.
I think they changed it in the last year to try to compete with platforms like Kick, who didn't give a fuck if you multi-streamed. So now
Yeah.
Twitch changed their policy to be the same, I think.
Yeah, I think you can be partner and stream wherever. Can I ask Eli, where do orgs get their funding from, and if the money that they win in tourneys goes to the org or the players directly?
Prize money typically goes mostly to the players. A lot of the contracts have like a certain percentage split, like maybe 5 or 10% of prize money goes back to the org. Which
Not a lot.
at most might be like a reimbursement for the travel that they spent to send the players to the tournament. As far as funding that orgs get, usually through sponsorships, like I don't know if Formal has his ticker on right now, but usually the OpTic guys have like the little ticker that's got like Mountain Dew and Gunner
Right.
Optics or whatever the different sponsors they have are. So the sponsors pay them a certain amount per month to have on the streamers streams and on the jerseys. And there's usually like some type of clause about making content or some type of ad about the product once per month or twice per month,
Right.
things like that.
And usually some
It's-
rich venture capitalist or somebody with a big investment or like a collection of people, I think just invest in the idea is where a lot of the money comes from, I assume.
just felt
Yeah, honestly, I would say that the vast majority of esports orgs are losing money.
Yeah.
There's really
Jason's just a
not
really good coach.
a lot that are
I hit him up.
generating a real profit. Like OpTic is one of the few I think that's probably generating a profit, but at the same time, they're probably paying the most expensive salaries at the same time because they have so many top level teams in all the esports. So it's like, but they also have like a huge following. They can sell a bunch of merch. Like merch is a nice way to supplement some of it.
100 Thieves tried to do
but
the same type of thing, like make merch that's like you want to wear outside the house, more stylish, you know?
Yeah, but I feel like even huge orgs like FaZe, I think has
Losing
been
a lot of money.
struggling they're struggling financially for a long time now. And that might be part of the reason why we haven't seen an announcement in Halo about FaZe. Like, if I'm a player and they're not paying me yet,
Yeah, I mean, Jason,
I'm not going to represent their org yet. So
he's a proven
I think there's something potentially going on with that with FaZe.
Yeah, kind of worried about that too, but I'm hoping it like locks in, especially with a 50K invitational coming up. Like, how do they just, do that without FaZe? That sounds kind of wild to me. So you'd think it would have to be announced the next couple weeks, but
They could also,
He just brings, like,
yeah, it would make
like, I don't know,
very little sense for them to announce it at that event. So I would assume they're going to
the comms and stuff.
in the week,
try to announce it before it. Yeah.
which would mean it would have to be next week latest because the event's in a week from now, basically, right? So I really don't know.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a long discussion about this like a couple of years ago. Devin Nash, I think we talked about this. Devin Nash did a great job discussing like the state of esports and the fact that a lot of these orgs are losing money and like the whole industry has been kind of overvalued, and a lot of money was kind of poured into it without any understanding of like a return on investment or proper understanding of like how they get a return on their investment. Salaries are like really inflated, the amount, like the COD League or whatever, the amount that they had to spend to like buy into the COD League or something was like millions per
Overwatch.
team. The Overwatch League, yeah, like, just kind of overvaluing their expectations on like how successful and how much money this would bring in.
Not to do too much of the talking,
Yeah, there was definitely like this bubble. It was like at the same time that like Bitcoin and all these other like cryptocurrencies are popping off. Like there's a bunch of nerdy gamers that just got a bunch of cash basically from the Bitcoin phenomenon. And then those guys are also thinking that esports is on the rise, which obviously it has been, but they're expecting it to reach the level of like NFL, NBA type shit.
Right.
So they're trying to get in the ground floor early. So they create gaming orgs thinking that that's going to like make a shitload of money, but then they're arguably overpaying the pros. Like it's so expensive to have an esports team, man. Like their salary on top of all their travel to all the events every month. Like imagine like the cost of OpTic per month to send these players all over the world.
House them all and stuff too. Like, I don't know how that's working.
Yeah. And Halo, COD, I'm pretty sure they have a Valorant team. Like all the different teams that they have. It gets expensive very fast, and it's like, how do you generate that much return is difficult. I'll be right back, by the way.
No problem. Elliot, you said, love the stream. Please consider not using clickbait titles as it leads to the same questions asked over and over for hours. I mean, I hear you. At the same time, it's a one-word answer. Lunchbox. You know what I mean? Like, who's the coach? Done. If you came in here for just that, then you get that answer very quickly. And hopefully chat can help me out with that. That's what I was hoping. If chat can also respond if I can't, you know? Ask if Eli has any holy grails. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, Torch, but I can, I guess, ask him when he comes back. Here all day to answer this question. If we revisit the conversation, which we have many times, then we will, you know? It's like, it's interesting. Lunchbox is the new coach. Done. Thank you, chat. You know, it's like clickbait solved. Now you're here. Hopefully you stay for a little while. A suggestion. I think it's a fair suggestion. I think there's like a range within like, you know, how acceptable clickbait can be from stream to stream. And I think that I'm within the acceptable range. Personally, you know, you can criticize me. I'm just going to say that this time you know, in the range of, you know, clickbait, I think I've followed it up nicely enough. You know, we're not just talking about that. We're watching scrims on a regular basis, and you guys know that. You're used to that. If you come into the stream, we've been watching scrims daily, pretty much. I'm no APG. Okay, yeah. I mean, not to use him as an example, but yeah, safe to say we're here, following up, delivering the value the best we can. Thank you, Cam. Unacceptable conditions. Came in here expecting answers. Okay, and I didn't get them immediately. Dude, these games are close, right? Like, they might have got that new coach glow up, but it's not going to like impact the team instantly. I wonder like how they're going to look this weekend. Lunchbox isn't here right now, by the way, guys. He had to leave the scrim early. I'm not sure what he's up to, but he joined for like maybe 5 or 6 games earlier today. And they've just been playing without a coach.
Hang on.
From that point forward, right?
Doing it.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. It is 46-44 as we got another nail biter Slayer here. Complexity, honestly, doing real well in the Slayers.
That nade was crazy.
Do you think that this team has had like a glow up, Complexity?
Oh.
Like, do you? Oh, that was a nice attempt.
Yeah.
Okay, makes the play here. Let's go, Morgan.
Sparty is.
Wait, this is matchmaking? Oh my god, I'm
we're
fucking
watching
tripping.
matchmaking.
Oh yeah, you're right, bro. I'm sorry, Blondie. Yo, I'm that disconnected. I'm that disconnected right now, bro. That's actually
Blondie.
crazy. Is Last Shot still in scrims with SSG? He is. Okay, I'm switching to Last Shot's POV. Bro, I'm
I
not.
just got an overkill. Okay.
Look, man.
What did you just ask me? Oh, if they had a glow up. That's right.
Yeah. Or if these matchmaking
feel-
kids just got better all of a sudden, apparently. I don't. Okay, anyway.
I mean, they were looking, and they have been looking better. Obviously, last week they almost took. Didn't they take Shopify to game 5 or SSG to game 5?
They did. Wait. Was it SSG?
Complexity. I think it was SSG.
Complexity.
I could be wrong though.
Yeah, it's
They went through some weird times. Like it felt like Mental joining the team was kind of like sudden. I feel like Mental is the type of player that doesn't just naturally slot in with a team and play his best. Like it was pretty clear from the stats that he wasn't like the normal Mental we're used to seeing when you looked at their like scrim stats. But I think once he figures out like how he can best slot into that team, he'll be a fucking god again. It just takes him a little while to get comfy, it seems like.
yeah. The tricky thing is none of these teams are showing any sign of like slowing down, allowing them to catch up, right? Like everybody's kind of like locked in, hit the ground running. Last Shot just coming out with a casual triple kill here.
There's just too much talent on Complexity for them to not
find some sort of answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, I'm sure it's hard for game titles or pro leagues to produce the prize money funds consistently unless you're Fortnite. Yeah, it's safe to say like Halo Studios is working with a very limited budget for their esport and their events and whatnot. And that doesn't really help the esport grow either. So,
My perspective is that Halo Studios and the greater Microsoft powers that be see the HCS as a necessary investment. It's a losing investment for them right now, but it bridges the gap between this Halo and the next and keeps the Halo fans engaged. So like they're probably going to continue investing in HCS, which is good for us. But it's definitely losing them money right now. They don't generate enough like skin sales from the game. The servers are probably expensive. Like, but it helps bridge the gap. That's the big thing.
I know a lot of people get really upset with the focus on esports in comparison to the casual audience these days, right? But you got like the thing with this esports community is just how passionately connected the community is, and also the point of contact that the devs get with like the most dedicated members of the gaming community as well, right? Like the people who play the game the most are the competitors. So there's like I don't know, there's a feedback loop there that you don't see with the casual audience, but finding that sweet spot where the casuals like get the content they deserve too, it's just, I don't know, it's a tricky balancing act. But I'm glad they're supporting this.
The developers should only care about like appeasing the whales that buy every single skin that ever gets released, and like that's generally who they care about the most. Like the esport, that's why most of the developers consider the esport like a marketing expense. it like brings new eyes to the game, but like they want to cater to the people that spend the most on microtransactions. It's like, yeah, these guys play more than anybody, and they're gonna buy some skins from time to time. But I guarantee you, these players are not generating as much profit for the company as the guy that has spent $2,000 on his account to have all the skins. Like, I don't know. There's definitely a push and pull to it.
Right. That's Eli next gen. Yep. That's a hell of a take there, Zammy. I don't know. Pushes a new skin every 3 to 5 days, and sometimes it's multiple. Yeah, I mean, once again, it's like the more successful your game is, the more content you tend to see for it too. What held Infinite back the most is just how difficult it is to scale. And now they don't have the audience to scale for.
The engine was a major issue. You guys will see soon. I'm actually recording a monologue about all of the problems with this game and the future of this game.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty well edited and dramatic, I believe.
Really?
With the company I work for, yeah.
Oh, you're doing it with a company as like a video, like a long. How long? Like what are we looking at here?
I can't leak too much, but yeah, it'll be a YouTube video, and then I'll probably also put it on like Twitter.
Cool. It's exciting. Problem with Infinite. Why did it die?
Yeah, I mean, there's
it's
already
always
a lot
the
of
dynamic.
videos
Yeah, there's a lot of
similar,
videos
but
covering it. Yeah, stuff like that.
from a slightly different perspective.
I don't know. I'm confident that Halo's never going to fully disappear.
Oh yeah, it can't.
Yeah.
We're like cockroaches, man. We're not going anywhere.
Right. So every time that with a new game, it's just another lottery ticket. It could either be like a massive success or, you know, it might fizzle out. But there's always going to be something going, you know. So we're on life support for who knows how long. Prioritize casual gaming modes, weapons, and sandbox over the competitive side, even Bungie during the originals. Yeah. Once again, it's like I think they want to do that, but what's held them back is the engine. And now they have like a skeleton crew of a team that can't update the game. Or in any significant content, you know, capacity. Frizz, thank you for the follow, brother.
This is the way.
Oh my god.
Just realized I'm past my dinner window. I need to go put something in the microwave. I'll be right back.
Okay, do your thing.
I'm on intermittent fasting. The timing of my meals is important.
Really?
You know?
You're trying that? How long you been doing that?
About a month now. I've lost like almost over 20 pounds.
That's why
now.
you're losing the weight, right? You said you lost. That's Damn.
But
Good for you if it's working for you. Yeah, go ahead.
My meal prep things. I'll be right back.
I agree, King. I'd love to see them invest in like a million different ways. You know, new maps, new content, more servers, fix anti-cheat. You know, we got a long laundry list of things that like could be improved in this game, and if they were, you know, we'd be thriving. But it's kind of like a catch-22, you know. We need dev support, and the game needs to make money to incentivize more dev support, other than them just like, you know, focusing on the next one. Getting the hot pockets out? Yeah, I wonder what you have after a fast, bro. I don't think I could do that. I'm too hungry all the time. When you become a billionaire, you're gonna fix it? Perfect. Save us. What's my ideal Halo if I was to combine aspects of each title? I don't know. I think like Halo 5's movement was probably my favorite, and then take some of the gun skill, gunplay, bullet magnetism, aim assist and whatnot from like Infinite. Some of the, I don't know. Halo 5 PC, there you go. That's simple. But that's only one component of the game, right? If we're just talking competitive multiplayer. Tactical rap style person? No, necessarily 4 videos a day, but one place to get information on the scene, 15 minutes a day. I hear you. Does Tac Rap do 4 videos a day?
That's so much.
That's a lot. he has like quick news update type content. Talks about dramas and you know, dynamics between different players and Twitter posts and whatnot in the scene. I definitely could do something like that. It's not something I'm as excited about as I am the competitive games, like the gameplay itself. Let's go, Devex. Appreciate it, bro. My God,
I feel
4
like you're
months,
doing-
2 months straight. Thank you, brother.
I feel like you're doing great with just the watch parties for scrims and tournaments. Like, I think we talked about this before, how like you were overthinking your videos, spending too much time editing them, and like, it's like, dude, you could literally just record a video while you're streaming and then just cut it and chuck it onto YouTube later, kind of like the way I was doing my VOD reviews.
Yeah. Which I kind of been doing recently. Like my last like 4 videos are all made through the live stream.
And you're probably way less stressed and pressed about it. Like,
I am. So there's definitely a stress component to like, I'm not getting as many views on my recent videos. And I don't know if that has something to do with like the streaming component and whatnot as well. Cause there's a lot of, you know, I've been streaming way more and people are watching that. That's getting more views, which is cool. But I'm way less stressed. Yeah. It's just so much work, man. Like recording and re-recording, trying to get the perfect take, you know, and nailing everything when it's not that deep. And I feel like people don't, like, for the occasional video it's valuable, but people don't listen to the content like that, you know. They don't consume it with the same level of passion that I create it, you know. So it's not strategic. Ask him
Well, I
the
have
Holy
something
Grail
for you.
question. Okay, what's up? What? Sorry, Torch has this question about a Holy Grail. What does that mean? Anything to you?
Let me scroll up and read the context.
He's said it like several times now. I don't know what the question was specifically, Torch. Write it again.
I think he means like jerseys and stuff that I have from the MLG days.
Tag Grab is one of a kind? Okay. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
don't think I'm selling anything I have. I really don't have that much, to be honest. I just have some of my old like anti-gravity jerseys. I never even had an Ambush jersey because I came up with the team name Ambush like a week before Meadowlands when we were teaming with Snipe Down, and then only after that did like Ola and them get top 4 under the name, and then they made the jerseys after that. So it's like my time on Ambush, I didn't even have an Ambush jersey.
Damn.
Even though I was the founder of that org. If
Because
you
I'm
want to
sure
call it an org.
some of that is I'm sure collector's items at this point, right?
Yeah, like my anti-gravity one someone might care about it, but I care more about it, so I'm not going to sell it.
And that's correct, Zap. Yeah, if Infinite was like popular, then I would put more time and energy into making videos that I know would people would really value. Not that I'm not, you know, trying to make valuable content for you guys. I'm just trying to simplify the process so I can do more rather than, you know, stress over every single creative project I'm working on. You're gonna say something, by the way, Eli. I think.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm leaking. I'm not even supposed to talk about this yet, but
Okay.
a small leak will be okay. But
Okay.
LVT is not running a rerun after the show on Sunday because we're doing like a flank style podcast thing afterwards. So look out for that. Make sure you don't just turn the stream off after the tournament ends. I think
Cool.
you'll enjoy it.
You're trying to flank style podcast with the LVT crew, or do you have like guests coming on, or?
It's gonna be like me, Mikowski, Mikwin, I think are gonna be the primary off the start. And then we'll have random guests pop
Mikwin's
in
on
if
it?
they want.
That's exciting.
Mhm. It's gonna be sick.
That's pretty dope. I like the sound of that.
I've been watching a lot of the flank, but this was Brandon's idea because we still have drops on the channel for the last like several hours after the tournament's over. It's like, how can we get the most out of that time instead of just running a rerun?
Sounds like content.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. It'll be fun. I'm gonna grab my food out the microwave. I'll be right
Something
back.
like the flank is definitely missing from Halo right now. Maybe African, yeah. The sort of energy and vibe that Zuma brings to the flank is not really in Halo, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very different the way I carry myself, but I wonder what I can. I don't know. Yeah, something needs to be tackled there. You know, we've got room for a podcast, talk show type thing like that. The dynamics between players and the size of the scene is a lot smaller in Halo. But I think especially for the next Halo, it's going to be really important. HCS Pro Talk? Yeah, I know about HCS Pro Talk. It's a similar sort of, I guess, vibe, but very different, right? It's just the two of them. This current series score? I'm not sure. Sorry, what's that?
I was just gonna say, I think for ours, we're gonna try to be like more analytical about the games that we watch and like have clips from the tournament that we can break down. Like
that's a good idea. You're doing post-tourney breakdowns? Wow, damn. Thanks for the invite.
I mean, I thought about you, but I don't know. We'll figure something out. I'll DM you about it.
Yeah. I don't know. A big scary Shyway inclusion and gonna cause too much chaos, of course.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is, I guess.
Ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie, but anyway. Has to be entertaining like the flank. Yeah, I know. It sets a high bar, huh? I'll definitely check it out.
Are you saying that I might not be entertaining?
That's what Jordan's saying. It's calling you out. He's saying you know Zuma.
Have
Ignoring
you
the
seen
stretch? Not right now, Michael. I'm sorry, bro.
Have you not heard the dynamic between Mikowski being faded as fuck and me making fun of him the whole time? Like, I feel like we're gonna get silly with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is just good.
You got to do your own thing at the end of the day.
Just damn good Halo. My God.
Insanely crazy. Let's go. Thank you for the gifted. Eternal, welcome to the way, brother. Thank you insanely. I appreciate it, man. You can, take some ideas from one show to another, but you got to bring your own flavor to it at the end of the day. So we'll see how it goes. What's up, Justin? Flag wasn't, yeah, I mean, last shot is, guys putting on a clinic. I can't even give it, do it justice right now.
This is the way.
Unfortunately. Toogie, thank you for the follow. That's 10-4. No. 10-3. SR versus SSG right now. Absolutely dominating. There was moments of brilliance out of SSG last weekend where I thought, like, okay, this team can hang, right? Like, they took SR to Game 5 last weekend. It's looking like the gap is still just as large, though. It's like, I don't know, different from day to day. Do you feel like SSG is catching up, Eli?
They most certainly are. This looks like a blowout, but if you look at Shopify's last scrim against Complexity 10-0, I think they haven't been losing any games recently besides to OpTic. But now Space Station's been kind of making them bleed at least a little bit. And then they took them to Game 5 in the tournament. They finally broke into top 3. It feels like there's definitely some growth occurring there. What I noticed is okay, what was the last Space Station scrim against? Was it TSM yesterday? Yeah, that one was 9-6. But if you look deeper into the stats, people might be like, oh wow, TSM took 6 games off of them. Space Station should be better than TSM.
Right.
But looking at the stats, Soul Snipe had his best scrim in a long time by far. He
went crazy.
The highest kills in the lobby, which is typically not normal for Soul Snipe. And then on the other side, Stellar had the least damage in the lobby, which is Stellar had a bad scrim, Soul Snipe had a good scrim, and Space Station still won. So I don't know. I look at little things like that. It's which are their superstars being superstars, or are they having slow games? And if all of them are firing on all cylinders, what does that look like? So.
I wonder what the stats will be like for this then. Because typically in the previous scrims I've seen with SSG, SR, it's 9-5 or something like that, kind of in that range.
Mm-hmm.
This is looking a little bit different.
Even been that close. I don't know. Shopify are definitely the most consistent team, it feels like.
Your mom here says the only thing I'm worried about for SR is that they've hit their culling already. Teams like OpTic better haven't, especially OpTic when they're just playing slays and working on chem and strats. I I don't know. I feel like every team is trying to kind of figure out what sticks. You know, like they trying things out. Still very early in their potential. I don't know. Do you get that vibe, Eli? Or their ceiling? That's what you're saying. Hit their ceiling already. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I would not agree with that. There's no reason to think that one team has hit their ceiling at any point in time. It's like it comes down to a team mentality thing. Like, are they hungry enough to continue working and getting better? Then if so, they will. But I don't see these guys slowing down.
Shopify going to be like 2024 SSG just smoking everyone? Do you think we'll see something like that? I don't know.
No, I don't think it'll be like that. I think right now, my early predictions, we have what? Total of 5 lands this year? I think it's 5. OpTic and SSG at least win 1. Or sorry, OpTic and Shopify at least win 1, and one of those 2 teams will win 2. And then we'll see. I think there's actually a chance that like either SSG or quote unquote FaZe just come out of nowhere, pop off, and win one of the events as well.
Who's your
Like,
dark
once
horse?
they start to figure it out. Sounds crazy to call SSG a dark horse, but it just feels like once they figure things out or get pissed off and start playing better, like
Get angry enough. Yeah.
I just think that like low key they need to get angry. Like they should be pissed at how that they're not winning. And if they get angry and like hone that energy in a positive way and start, you know, taking it to people, that they could absolutely win an event.
Is it crazy to think they're all like too polite as people or something? Or I don't know. They don't have
Low key.
They need
like,
more toxic energy. Their team, you know.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
put Gunny on the roster. No, I'm kidding. They need something. Yeah, low key, they got to be angry.
Shot's like wholesome, but as soon as the tournament's over, he's tweeting hashtag belt to ass. Like, I don't know. That shit's fucking.
Or he has a lot of LeBron tweets and stuff too every time he wins.
I just like imagine like OpTic seeing that tweet. Like, oh, what are you, my fucking dad? Like, belt to ass. It's just crazy.
Definitely not scared of anyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get angry. Yeah. Well, I think also he's kind of mirroring the personality of his teammates a little bit. Like Royal 2 has that kind of that sense of confidence and that sense of humor. I find that I don't know if it's like Last Shot's picking up on Royal 2's sense of humor. They're like mirroring their personalities or something. But Royal 2 Frosty specifically, when they start winning, there's like there's a confidence that comes with their gameplay in their comms and their teabagging and whatnot too, right? Like they really kind of you know, have no shame in like letting their opponents know they're better, you know? The mind game.
Just have fun with it too. I feel like they just have more fun than all the other teams. Like that's low key the secret to success sometimes is like if you're having more fun,
100%.
You're gonna play better. Like your brain is actually gonna function at a higher capacity if you're in a cheerful mood. And like they just crack jokes. Like I don't know. I love when Last Shot gets in his like auctioneer voice and he's like calling things out in like a fake panic the whole time.
Right.
And he's just making Frosty giggle while Frosty's fucking hitting every no scope. It's like, oh my fucking god, you know, just like that type of energy. I don't know.
He does have this like fake panic thing that he does where he's like, I'm dead. Like he'll like call like he's, you know, like he's gonna get shit on or something, but then he shits on them. Yeah, it's just weird. Like
it's funny.
It's like he's playing with his opponent. Yeah, I don't know. He's not taking it seriously.
They do the dead.
Yeah, exactly. Once you start hearing that, it's like GG's. That's like when that kind of that momentum shift in the callouts, you know, it's like, oh, this is dangerous. You know, that's how they start to. That's when I felt like OpTic had the highest possibility of getting checked when FaZe's comms got like that. Frosty and Royal 2 specifically.
I don't know if you've been following competitive COD at all, but like the OpTic COD team just won the world championship, and then they go on an 18 map losing spree.
Right.
They're like like it's unheard of to be the world champions. Granted, it was a different COD title, but like I don't know if we've ever seen that before. The same team just can't win a fucking map. They did finally win. It's like you listen to their comms, and it's like there's just a defeat in the air already. Like they start the game down, and there's no like resolve to come back. They did just make a team change, but
It's interesting imagining that. I didn't listen to it, but like out of Shotzi, it's hard to imagine that type of communication when you got somebody like Shotzi on your team. You know, I don't know. He always had this like, you know, ridiculous sense of confidence.
Mm-hmm. But we all know how important vibes can be, and
Yeah.
if you're
It's everything.
if you've
That's
lost
why
5 series in a row,
an OpTic split. Yeah.
it's going to be hard to maintain that confidence.
Mm-hmm. It starts to become like a big mental block, essentially, and that's exactly why I think the whole roster mania thing began. Right? There was a deeper kind of mental block on OpTic that just prevented them from actually winning a tournament. They were good enough to consistently get to grands in every possible way, but then once grands came around, there's something was chalking the vibes. It was Kenny. Was Kenny like a source of that energy? You're saying? Like, I mean, I really don't know, having not listened to it, but safe to say they made the change. Yeah, they did drop him.
But I don't think it was like him specifically.
Like any one player specifically. Yeah.
Yeah. He just was playing really bad, and he admitted that in his tweet. He's like, I played the worst Call of Duty I've played in a long time.
Lunchbox, pure. Lunchbox is back. Big W for OpTic fans. I don't think anybody's hit their ceiling. It's impossible to say a team has hit their ceiling because we haven't even had an event yet. Like, I don't know. Gotta wait for the first land major, see what people are capable of. I think we're all just kind of revving up. Literally 1 second away from closing it. SSG gonna take C here. It does feel like the gap between SR and SSG, not just in the series score, but in the like games themselves, is wide right now. Like they're kind of getting a little bit ran through today. I don't know. Yeah, teamwork, the speed on the map out of SR, efficiency from last shot. Dude's just like so confident.
I do think Space Station is undoubtedly getting better, but I think Shopify is also getting better at the same time.
Right.
So that's why we're seeing like the not a big difference in the score.
We have a 50K invitational for the top 4 teams next weekend. And then, so like March 29. And the first major is mid-April, like April 18 or something like that. What's up, or Nick? Nick, how you doing, brother? Worst player in the league in Pred for out-of-game issues. The worst player in the league. God, that's savage. People like... you know, he's been having a rough set of performances, but it's crazy how his whole career gets discredited when he goes through that rough patch, you know? Like, that's the kind of dialogue I've been seeing, is like people are just slamming Kenny's like whole career, sort of, you know? It's just very unapologetic being a pro. Yeah, recency bias
is insane.
Yeah. Dare you to play me in a 1v1. Add after this stream. I'm good. I'm good right now, Jared. Come at me, bro. You got to give me some incentives or something, but not right now.
Is LVT casting in person for the invitational? No, we're doing it from home. So I'll be home for
like a watch
weekend.
party?
We're casting it. They're going to give us a secondary, like Bravo stream.
Oh,
I
cool.
don't know exactly what it's going to look like. Yeah, like they'll probably have their main match on like the FaZe channel or on Kason's channel. And then we'll be live with like a secondary observer in a different game.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the plan for Tusk is. We have no idea. He's been released from OpTic. So, you know, hopefully he finds something, whether it's coaching or competing, because he can compete, I think, if he wanted to. He's definitely got the ability. Mal says, do we have any data on most improved players year over year? Anything on that, Eli?
Chats.
Most improved year over year.
That was a fault.
I was thinking last year Bound looked like the most improved from like year 1
Really?
to now. Yeah, Bound, I mean, he's always been good, but he was very inconsistent and didn't like hone his ability as well as he did last year. And then like by the end of the year, he was looking like the best player.
Holy fuck, coming.
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to think of people specifically.
I mean, Cycle was a standout last year too, right? But not, I don't know if most improved is it, but like he was what, top support player?
Yeah, I mean, Cycle was statistically like top 3 I think he had the best KD at like 3 out of the 5 lands or something, which is kind of insane. Not even being on a top 2 team.
Thank you, Kirby. Welcome, man. Don't understand why they ever used Tusk as a coach. I've never seen him in. Yeah, no, it just was just a kind of product of circumstance, right? Lunchbox decided to step away. It wasn't a choice. And Renegade and Bound play with Tusk regularly. They're friends with him. So there was a comfort aspect to that I think just led to them trying it out. This is Last Shot's year, and obviously low-key, yeah. I think this is more Last Shot's year at the moment. He's in the center of the spotlight. He's got the biggest opportunity to, like, win majors. And then I think obviously he could have, like, he could be like, oh, if it even is, geez, a next year of Infinite. That's the tricky thing is, like, obviously he's on the come up, but will we get another year? I know you said that they want to keep investing in this, though, or that's your perspective is, like, even though they're losing money, there's still value in keeping this going, hopefully till the next Halo.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to completely abandon your franchise, then completely like have everybody leave when you could keep them hooked for a bit and then seamlessly transition into the next Halo. It's like they're losing money in the short term, but it could be like a good long-term investment to like keep it going.
It'd be nice.
I do think like they're definitely investing less than they have because like they're having the orgs brunt the prize pools and you know, like all these majors are hosted by an org because the org is the one that's putting up the prize money for the land. But obviously there's still a budget to like keep it all intact.
I mean, the interesting thing with Halo 5 is so they stopped the circuit after year 3, and then they sort of pivoted to like MCC, but it was much less like there was less money involved. It wasn't like kind of done by the HCS team specifically. Like we had UGC events, we had like third parties like DreamHack kind of you know, sort of take the reins and run some events in between. So it wasn't like this. Like Infinite is still sort of like on the circuit, I guess, if that makes sense.
And honestly, the game is in its best. The game is like finally in a really good spot competitively. I feel like the best it's ever been. So it's like be kind of ashamed to not at least show like, hey, this actually is a fucking dope esport. Now that we've had time to cook in the kitchen and make it dope. Should have been dope out the gate. Obviously, I would have preferred that, and maybe we'd still have a lot of players. But you know, corporate nonsense, I think, kept that from happening.
Yeah. That series command is incorrect. Lefty, the final score, I think, was 11-3 for the SR SSG series. If you're a SSG fan, yeah, maybe a little worrying. I don't know. I think SSG's still, you know, nasty team, but SR just kind of built different at the moment. We'll see how it goes on lane. I think that's done it for our scrim POV, Eli. Got no more scrims.
Yeah, all good. I was actually about to bounce out of here anyways. But that was fun. Glad I was able to come on. This is probably the most likely way you're going to get my time for the foreseeable future, just because of all the other projects I'm working on, where it's just like,
what, watch parties?
I just randomly have time, and I'm like, yo, let's vibe.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Instead of like plan it out. Yeah. Because a lot of things are moving right now with the like all the shows we're recording. Like the day that we record is changing pretty fluidly sometimes.
Makes sense.
I'll send you some stuff to watch if you're interested, though.
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely down. Oops. Yeah, I guess getting a breakdown in was what I had originally thought, but like you said, it's gonna be kind of tough to coordinate. If you randomly like have energy, maybe we do a switch over to instead of strictly watching the scrims, because that's where your expertise, I think, really comes into play. Obviously, these conversations are fun, but you know, there's a level of insight that you provide analytically that the viewers need to know about.
Damn good Halo.
Rarky, you go. Yeah, of course you love. Rarky just dropped 5 gifted, bro. Lunar,
hell yeah.
Logical, Noodle Person, Droolin, and Reacts. Thank you for the 5 gifted bomb, Rarky. I appreciate you, brother. Welcome, guys.
Bro, you're up to 1,200 subs. I'm so happy for you, man.
Yeah, I think the key is just like working hard and maintaining it, though, right? Got to be as regular.
Consistency.
yeah, with the streaming as I can, and just hope that we keep building. I think seeing the insane jump in my viewership on YouTube and Twitch has been exciting, but now that I've kind of hit the peak of it, if that makes sense, it blew up and now it's plateaued, you know? So there's a new level of worry of like, okay, can I maintain it if I see it drop slightly? Like, anyway, your expectations kind of increase as the numbers increase, right? I'm like, if I don't have 400 to 700 viewers, like, you know, the moment I turn on the stream, game over. Anyway.
My advice to you, Alex,
just keep going,
just turn your fucking brain off and just keep going live. Like, that's all you gotta do. Like, stop. There's no reason to look at this shit. Halo esports definitely has a lot more intrigue than it's had in a long time. Like, people actually give a fuck about it, and it seems to be growing. So it's like, you just continue to be a powerful voice for it, and you're watching all the tournaments. Like, there's no reason it'll go anywhere.
Appreciate that, brother.
I think, yeah, there's probably like a finite audience threshold, like across all Halo at the moment. And you might reach a critical mass, but it's like, bro, if you just keep doing this, you'll be fine anyways.
Yeah, I mean, that's the wavelength I'm on. Is like kind of path of least resistance. What do I love to do right now? What feels like natural? And, you know, where do I feel like I'm in alignment? And doing this is exactly that at the moment. It's just been fun. It's been easy. And it's great having people like yourself on to hang out with and make it even better, man. I got to kind of connect with, you know, Miquin and Hunter doing this too. And it's something that I feel like I'm a little bit more, not nervous, but I have trouble reaching out to just play games with somebody. But when it comes to like a conversation, I feel like we're more in our element. It's a good vibe. I can give value to the viewers versus like us just doing a grind, you know, just shooting Spartans.
Yeah, I think that's the trap that I fell into when I was streaming. I just like grinded matchmaking too much.
Yeah.
But it's like
disconnected.
People actually
would
like this type of content where you're reading chat and having meaningful conversations and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what's so tough is like I got to play the game. I'm locked in. I can't. It's not an interactive show, so it's difficult to build that. But anyway, it's been a pleasure, man. You said you're on the. Did you microwave your food? What did you end up getting, by the way?
So I've been. There's a local place here called Clean Eats. They do like meal prep and have a different menu every week. Okay. But it's like calculated calories and carbs and protein and stuff. So I just had. It was like a taco bowl with like beef and jalapenos. It was actually pretty fire.
That sounds really good.
But yeah, I've been trying to be healthier.
How long does that last you for now? Is that the whole day, or is that?
Oh no, so I have 3 meals a day. They're only like $6 each, which is crazy. But me and the people at my office, we buy them in bulk to make them that cheap. So it's like there's 6 of us at the office that do it, and we just picked up 59 meals on Monday for this week. 18 of them were mine. So it's just like I have 3 per day, so it's like very calculated, so I know my exact calorie intake per day.
So you're doing this with the people at the office, like the same type of
yeah. Okay. We're all kind of on our health kick. We spend a lot of time at the office. So like I don't know. Like I'm on my own thing. They're a little less disciplined than me, but they also don't need to lose weight as much as I do. So but it's like it's good for your wallet and for your body. So I've been just trying to be more conscious of it.
Okay. Well, great to see you making progress, man. I saw that tweet with the haircut and the you're looking slick.
Trying to look fresh.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Love to see it, man. All right. Well, happy to have you come by, and hopefully we can coordinate some more impromptu sessions in the future, man. But I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and enjoy your food if you haven't had it already.
Yep. Sounds good, man. Take it easy, brother.
All right. Take it easy.
Peace.
Peace. Oh, that's it for Scrims chat. Thank you, Young. Or could you create pointless beefs with random viewers? Yeah, that probably won't happen. Did you say something about like play with a celebrity? Yeah, I mean, you know, once again, aligning myself with different personalities in the Halo community, I think will bring a different vibe to every one of the streams and might incentivize viewership. If we get Formal to come on and hang out with us and watch Scrims, I don't know how we would set something like that up, but you know what I mean? Grabbing like coaches like Lunchbox or somebody for a day that OpTic isn't scrimming and have them hang out, watch other Halo players, do a casual interview type thing would be a good natural extension of what we're doing currently. And yeah, I have to play the game as always. while I play the game, there's a lot of different things we can do content-wise, like commentating as I play, you know, trying to teach or share my mindset like as I play and making like try to make valuable content out of that. Ranked Halo for dummies, right? Formal stream would go nuts. Having him hang out would be vibey as hell. Yeah, that'd be dope. Ask Lunchbox. Yeah, I would love to reach out and just see if he's got availability. I'm sure that like now he's with OpTic. He's going to be locked in and busy between now and the, you know, the tournaments coming up in just like a week. No problem, Zach. Until next time, thank you for hanging out. Reach out to OpTic social media team. They might be down for collabs. Now, I'd rather just reach out directly to the players, you know, the people on OpTic, because I feel like that'd be a more effective way to coordinate something. But yeah, you're not wrong. I think I'm going to take a break on that. Do a bit of mindset coaching for the game. Help to some of us laymen's. Always found that insightful. Yeah, so talking as I play and getting good at doing that so I can give you guys like valuable live commentary while also being good enough at the game to like, you know, put up numbers in like a high tier Onyx lobby. That would take some practice, but I think it's doable if I put work into it. It's just another thing, you know, it's just another avenue. Excited to get back to work. Yeah, exactly. They're going to be busy for a little bit, but like, so, okay, a good example would be shortly after the first LAN major, let's say OpTic wins, then that would be a good opportunity to say like, hey, Formal, I want to watch scrims once the scrims start up again, or Lunchbox, want to watch scrims, like on a day that they're not scrimming. Because then they're kind of revving back up to the next event. There's a little, you know, there's a lull period. No problem, Sly. I'm going to send you guys over to someone. Who should we raid? Is Last Shot still streaming? I could do Sparty. Oh, actually, let's raid obviously. Guys, we were talking about obviously earlier being on the come up. Thank you, Blondie. Appreciate you. I know that when I have somebody on to chat, these are fun, so I'm glad you guys like them, but it's also like kind of uncoordinated. I don't really answer your questions. It's, you know, but I'm glad that you guys are still vibing, even though I can't interact as much. Obviously is nasty. You guys are going to get a treat. This is like a new young player in the scene. He's playing for Luminosity right now. Haven't seen much of his gameplay, but Eli had good things to say about him. Maybe he's like that next guy on the come up. So if you're watching on Twitch, go give him some love. Check out his POV. Thank you, Wallaby. All right. Good night, Twitch. 139 of you guys over to, obviously, on the YouTube side. Thank you guys for hanging out. As you know, the broadcast will be available as a VOD, right? So you can go back, you can watch it. Please feel free to, you know, hit like, hit sub. I'm trying to build up the subscribers. We just hit 62,500. Just crossed that threshold, which is dope. So thank you guys for the support. We do this like basically every day at the moment. I'm trying to be as consistent as I can be with it. At least, you know, 3 to 4 hours watching scrims. And then the tournaments every weekend, right? The tournaments are hype. Lunchbox is the coach. Yeah, we talk about it a lot at the start of the stream. So you can go back, you can watch the VOD through YouTube if you guys are interested. But otherwise, have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. See you guys.